Yesterday, but hopefully we got some tech kinks we're trying to work out. Hopefully we survive this program. But listen, let's get right into it. I'm gonna go back into what I wanted to talk about with you yesterday, as I dying to know your feeling about who amongst the hopeful Niner wannabes will survive the process. Back in Santa Clara, John Lynch, his draft crew, including Coach Shanahan, have added talents to the 49ers roster to go along with the established players that they are hoping can realize what they are envisioning for future successes. Tonight, going to the phones, you'll see the phone, by the way, located right on the screen. And then if you can't, you're going to get the PIN number also in the description below it. Right? But tonight, going to the phones for your further thoughts on players, including the vets, that will not only survive the cut, but have the potential to rock. I'm talking rock the NFL world. We got some guys like that? Yeah, you know. By the way, coming off an impressive year in 2020, Jason Verrett, of whom everybody's talking about, I was going to talk about him yesterday as well, was a player the Niners were counting on when the 2021 season opened up. Now JV reclassifies in 2022 as a nothing-to-lose signing with his fourth consecutive one-year contract with the 49ers. The 49ers yesterday announced the re-signing of JV, who sustained a season-ending knee injury in the season opener, much to our horror as we were sitting there watching that unfold. He's laying on the ground. The face was, oh, no, that's serious. And it was, so... and the team was expecting to be the closest thing we had to a shutdown corner. And you know dang well he was going to be. The year before, he had already proven that he has got the skills that he's been advertised to have. And he did a good job. Anytime you take down, the Cardinals, when you look around the league, nobody really got a job, did a job on Jason. Yeah, a couple of misses here and there, but nothing consistent. Mostly Verrett was all over it. So if JV is healthy, there's no doubt he has that capability as an NFL starter. The cap hit, not really anything special. Not anything to be saying, oh, my God, no, he's fine. So his ability to remain healthy has always been the only question with him to begin with. And Drake, I'm not talking about that guy from Canada that comes out and gets big hip-hop hits. I'm talking about Drake Jackson. John Lynch has been talking about him already. It isn't just Jackson's raw talent that has GM Lynch optimistic about Drake's future. Lynch also believes in the coach's task with getting the most out of our D linemen as they have been. Remember the year before last when it looked like 2020 was a disastrous year. Most of us want to forget, but do remember the defensive line was playing decent football. The defense was playing decent football toward the end of that year and ranked in the top 10. So Lynch, who joined Mervyn Mack talking Niners and was quoted saying about the D-line, we joke about continuing to add to that group. It gives us great confidence. When you have a guy like defensive line coach Chris Kasurik and assistant defensive line coach Daryl Tapp, they are so good at their jobs. We know we're going to get the most out of whoever we put in that situation. And when you put a young man with the talent that Drake has in his body and what he's demonstrated that he can do on a football field, we think the ceiling is extremely high. So we're just excited to add him to the mix. Quote, just reading that makes me want to holler. I know he's going to be there. I have a feeling about this guy. As I saw, when you first got drafted, I'm sitting there thinking, does he want to be a 49er? Who is this guy? Because you know what? I am going to stop paying more attention to college football. I've been Big Show student for the last 3 years. So, but when I would check him out, I said, oh, look at that athleticism. Hey, Kyle, give him the ball every now and then, maybe, So, and fam, let's go ahead and get right into this now. It's a little late. Let's take a detailed look at where the roster stands as of today. There's much that may change before training camp arrives. We all know that. And some questions may not be answered until the end of the preseason, maybe in mid-season. Who knows? But the Niners also, towards the 2022 season, with a roster that is full of talent and is in good shape for it now. Knock on wood. It's the thing we go through every year, fam. The team is ready to beat ass every year. You look at the 49ers every year. 2019, we was beat up, made it to the Super Bowl. 2020, we were mathematically, it took us all year to get totally eliminated. Last year, you know what happened, right? Pain, suffering, right at the wrong time. Anyway, looking at the QB section, the safe bet to make the 53-man roster, Trey Lance, Nate Sudfeld will have to win a spot. Brock Purdy, that's you. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows? You know, it is impossible to say for sure at this point. You know, I don't know what Lynch is saying. I got my theories, but I don't know what they're doing really. Maybe a trade destination will open up for him before the start of the season, but that's certainly not a given. As you look at this whole situation, why is anybody going to give 49ers anything and then have to pay his ass $20-something million? That's just the formula. It just doesn't work for anybody. But if one does open up, would it be with a team the 49ers want to help anyway, right? So it wouldn't be a surprise anymore if Mrs. Garoppolo's Subway sandwich eating baby boy is still on the roster in week 1. Oh, that's going to make so many people mad. But, you know, that's not what Jimmy or the Niners had in mind heading into the offseason. But Jimmy wants to go through. He's not into all this madness. He just wants to go somewhere and get started and see what he can do with his next team. So, but hold on. As Trey would say, hold on, wait a minute. Here's the thing. The Niners would have great depth at quarterback, granted, very expensive depth, but depending on what happens in camp by keeping JG around. JG isn't the type of guy either to cause any drama. You know how he is? He's laid back. You know, if they say, Kyle says, listen, I'm gonna start Trey. Fine. That's all you got to say? What do you want me to say? That's him, you know. So if he has to sit, and I imagine this comes from his grooming and with the coming from the Patriots. He sat behind Tom, you know, waited his turn. But even it wouldn't be his preference to do that. We'll see what happens with that. Sudfeld feels like a safe bet after getting $2 million guaranteed on his new deal. Didn't they give him $2 million last year? I think they did. Yeah. So we automatically assumed at that point that Sudfeld apparently is going to be the guy. But who knows? Teams have eaten much more than that in the past. So 7th-round pick, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, could wind up being a practice squad inclusion unless he shows well enough in the preseason to make the 49ers afraid of losing him on waivers. Some early predictions have JG landing elsewhere before the start of the season, and the 49ers open week 1 with Lance and Sudfeld as their 2 quarterbacks with Purdy on the practice squad. A thought that sends chills to me. But you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna say anything one way or the other on that. Running back, fullback position, safe bets to make the 53-man roster: Elijah Mitchell, Kyle Juszczyk, Jeff Wilson, Tyrion Davis Price. Competing for a spot, Trey Sermon, JaMychal Hasty. Will need an injury unforeseen circumstance to Juszczyk to make the 53-man roster. If so, Josh Hawkett enters the picture. Reported undrafted free agent signing. Cyrus Habibi Likio. What name has got flavor, don't it? Boise State. The 3rd-round selection of Tyrion Davis Price most likely means one of the running backs who were on the roster last season will probably not make the cut this year. We'll say la vie, say la vie. Who will it be, fam? Immediate reaction by many was that the addition of Davis Price might be bad news for Trey Sermon. But it shouldn't come as a surprise if Sermon takes a step forward and JaMychal Hasty is left as the odd man out. Meanwhile, the vibe surrounding Davis Price is that maybe the 49ers hope he'll be able to give them the type of presence they got from Deebo Samuel last season, which means they'll feel the need to use Samuel less as a running back, if at all. See, Deebo's already put it out there. Y'all go pay me my money if you go have me out there knocking myself to death. I get hurt, what I'm going to do? What y'all will say to me? Deebo, thanks a lot, man. We're sorry. No, you ain't going to do that. You're going to give me my money. So Deebo's he's still on the warpath about that. Early predictions are this. Sermon wins a spot to go with Mitchell, Wilson, Davis Price, and Juice. Looking at wide receiver safe bets to make the 53. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod, return specialist Danny Gray. Danny Gray. Oh, I got all kind of visions about that dude burning up the track. Somebody running a fire truck running behind him, putting out the flames. I've been wanting this for years. Competing for a spot: Keyshawn Johnson, Malik Turner, Austin Mack, Marcus Johnson, Connor Weddington. Reported undrafted free agent signings: Trey Mack, Pittsburgh, Tay Martin, Oklahoma State. You know, those are good places. You gotta get candidates. You want to get them out of place. You notice everybody stays away from the Pac-12. You know, that's just the way it goes. But yes, Adamo Debo will eventually blow over, and he'll get a new deal that makes him happy, and the entire franchise, we all live happy ever after. Assuming that's the case, the aforementioned 5 players, listen, feel like safe bets to make the 53, while the 49ers will have an interesting decision on whether to keep a 6 at this position. There are a number of intriguing candidates capable of winning a spot in the preseason, but it's also easy to envision the 49ers going with 5. The roles seem mostly set right now as they were last year. But you do have the speedster added in there now. Jawan Jennings, I don't know how they're going to manipulate this. It's going to be the guys who are dragging ass versus the guys who are kicking ass during preseason. You know, Kyle, it's about practice, man. When they told me they put a speedometer on Ayuk, he said, say what? Yeah, we were reading it too. We punched that baby in the computer, and he was moving half-ass out there, so it was one of the reasons why I had a problem. Really? At first, I thought maybe they were making that up, but they do put they put all kind of tech devices on these guys to keep and monitor them as far as, you know, heart rate and everything else. I guess early prediction: the Niners start the season with 5 safe receivers on the roster. Tight end, safe bet to make the 53-man roster are George Kittle. No, I'm not going to go on beyond that. It's George Kittle. He's the only guy safe to make this roster as a tight end. Ross Dwelly. Favorites to win a spot, though, do include Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner, and competing for a spot, Tanner Hudson, Jordan Matthews again. Jordan shows up every year. Nobody else asking to play. It's just us. Or unless Jordan says, look, I'm not going to ask anybody if they want my service. I'm going to be looking to come in and join you guys, all right? Really? Oh, well, fine. Okay, we'll call you. So he's going to be in camp. Reported undrafted free agent signings include Garrett Walston, North Carolina. And the Niners continued their trend of passing on drafting on offensive threat at tight end to go along with George Kittle. And reasons why are unknown. You could speculate on that all day, but there's something bizarre about that. I think my only theory is the 49ers just want to make sure that tight end, George Kittle is a two-way tight end. That guy George he can play some wide receiver, and George Kittle is one of the best offensive linemen we got. That is an incredible combination, and so he's like the guy we ain't about to let George go. That's too much talent. So that means we'll likely see 3 veterans on the roster once again, with the favorites being the 3 who held down the spots last season. Maybe Matthews can take a step forward in his transition to tight end and win a spot. Remember last year he put on all that extra weight, a lot of bacon and potatoes, and he got a little bigger, probably got a little slower too. I don't know. We shall see. Early prediction: Kittle, Dwelly, Warner. Run it back one more time. O-line. And take note of this, fam, because I want to know if you got any objections to anything we're doing here. O-line safe bets to make the 53. Trent Williams, I guess. Mike McGlinchey. There would be some questions about that. I want to see what he looks like. He looks good in practice right now. Jalen Moore, Aaron the Mystery Banks, Spencer. If they come at me, that's where they stay. Burford, I'm sorry. Favorites to win a spot, of course, Daniel Brunskill, Jake Brindle, Nick Zick. There's an L in this man's name. There's 2 consonants in a row. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I'm going to call him Nick Z. Justin School, remember him? And Colton McKivitz. And Colton looked a little better last year than he did the year before, too. So he's growing. He's growing. Competing for a spot, Alfredo Gutierrez. Keaton Sutherland reported undrafted free agent signings: Jason Poe out of Mercer, Sam Schluter. I'm going to call him Sam S. Anytime I stumble like that, I'm just going to give him the last initial. That is as German as you're going to get. Schluter. He's out of Minnesota. Donovan West, Arizona State, and who might be riding off into the sunset with Ohio silver and away. Yeah, Alex Mack. He hasn't said anything yet. Alex, will you talk to us, please? So at least we can go ahead and pass out or get excited? It's anyone's guess how Womack's situation turns out. Maybe Alex will return for another season, but that doesn't feel like the vibe at the moment. That means the Niners have 2 starters locked in with Williams and McGlinchey. While the rest isn't etched in stone by any stretch of the imagination. Moore and Banks are the favorites to fill the starting guard spots, but it isn't out of the question that someone else could jump up and beat them out. In fact, you wish they would, because that means they got to be damn good. Because, I mean, you know, because when you look at Moore and Banks, we don't know anything about Banks, but neither one of them should be slobs. So it's not out of the question. Coach Shanahan and John Lynch talked up Jake Brendel as a candidate for the center spot if Mack retires. But it'll certainly be a spot that will be up for grabs if it opens up. You need to know what you're doing. What happened to Captain What's-His-Name a couple of years ago? You know, you can't be a novice at center in Shanahan's offense. Brunskill's going to end up being the center, with Jake Brendel getting beat out by Brunskill. Brunskill's not good at center. But a quarterback that needs all the support he can get from his offensive line, I got a center question mark. Lynch said the 49ers are viewing Burford and that dude Nick Z as inside players, but with heavy experience at the tackle position for both of them. Could be the Niners may eventually decide to focus one or both as swing tackle. Right now, the forgotten man, Justin School and McKivitz, could be the favorites in that competition. I know, right? Maybe they've grown. You know, they don't get enough. They haven't had enough time for anybody to know, but I guess they look in practice. Maybe they do. This will be a position to keep a close eye on once training camp begins. In fact, when you look at around all the other positions, you know we got juice. It is within this particular spot that the team could make it or break it. It really does come down to that. The offense has to have a line to work behind. They can't have a bunch of guys out there getting their brains beat out on every snap. It's also a position where there might be an opening for an undrafted player to rise up and win a spot. West and Poe could be candidates to watch at center, according to my instructor, Big Show. Poe was his guy. Nobody said anything about Donovan West, though. Early prediction is this, so top 5 as well as Brunskill, McKivitz, School. Brendel, make the cut. Nick Z could wind up on the bubble and may wind up on the practice squad, where he could spend time developing into a guard. Why is a guard always an issue for us? We just got rid of a guard that we probably should have kept then, right? All this could change if the 49ers add a veteran or two at center, which wouldn't be a surprise. I don't know who's available, who's left, if they're any better than anybody we have, but that's what the 49ers are going to be looking at. Let's go to the D-line where things are nothing but all happy day. All happy day. Safe bets to make the roster. Nick Bosa. Eric Armstead. Javon Kinlock. J.K. You know you got minds to change and people to say, I told you so. Drake Jackson. Favorites to win a spot, Samson Ibukum, Kevin Givens, Maurice Hurst. I'm going to tell you right now, fam. Anybody question any position group? I'm done with I'm done with Hurst. Any of those interior linemen look good. I'm done with Hurst. How do you take a year to heal? Guys who take a year to heal up from a calf injury bother me. What are you doing that calf won't heal? And it's just every week. You see Maurice Hurst is looking like he may play this week. Game time, Maurice Hurst on the not going to play list. What? Maurice, you're a good football player. I need you in there, man. No, he's not coming. But he's pretty much going to make Hassan Ridgeway, Jordan Willis, Kerry Hyder. It's a hell of a group. Competing for a spot, Charles Omenihu. I've already penciled him in. Hurst, say goodbye, brah. Kimiko Terrain, from what I can see from his reel, that boy can play some ball. I believe he makes his team. Who am I going to say goodbye to? Anyway, Alex Barrett, Chris Slayton. Those are you guys currently on the roster, but not expected to play. Go ahead and guess. Should I mention his name? D Ford. Boy, and coming in on the PUP.
You know, back when I was running the team, there were times when I just saw in a player that I saw a big future in. You can ridicule me all you want, but I pulled in players that were going to heal up, and I was going to make sure they did. I knew they were going to be a hell of a ball player upon healing up and get back on that field. So you can say what you want to about me, 49er fans, but I did the best job I could do, and I still think I left you in a good...
Hey, Trent, shut the hell up, Trent. You did that more than one. You know, Trent, if you brought in one guy or two like John did, okay. You bring in half a roster. So, you know. So Khalil Davis is going to be, a lot of people like him, though. He's coming in on the PUP. Reported undrafted free agent signing defensive tackle Kevin Atkins, Fresno State. Hey, you know, I like Fresno State players, though. All right? Yeah. As was the case in 2021, the D-line is deep and talented, so much so that the 49ers likely won't find room for all the players they'd like to keep. And I like that, you know. That means whoever leaves, boy, we left some hell of a player behind, boy. Most likely, the addition of second-round pick, Mrs. Jackson's baby boy, Drake, who does backflips into the backyard pool, will lead to very stiff competition for depth spots in the defensive end. Oh, my God. Trey O'Menahue, Hyder, Ibukum, and Willis may all be on NFL rosters in 2022, but not all of them may be in Santa Clara working out. Yeah, with somebody yelling behind them, y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Thanks for everything, too. Your check's in the mail. Don't worry about it. But I got O'Menahue makes this team. Yeah, hell yeah. Ibukum. You know what? He came on toward the end of the season. Ibukum is being currently viewed as a favorite to stay. But the Niners would also save a good chunk of change, $6.5 million, if they decided to go ahead and say goodbye to Ibukum. Hyder may also be a good bet to stay, given the success he's had in the past under the legendary coach. I'm calling him legendary already, because he's going to be, when he retires, Chris Kasura could be going into HOF. I'm telling you, man, the dude, he's got a legacy of players that just look way better after he got through with them. I love that story they told, too, with how Chris treats players. Chris, like, if you're working out and he doesn't like what you see, dude gets right in your nose. What the hell are you doing? What do you think I'm running out here? Are you going to play football or what? You know, I mean, anyway, Chris Kasuric is like so tough on those guys that Kyle Shanahan made a joke. Yes, sometimes we come over and we save those guys from Chris. So I'm just delighted to hear about that. So, yeah, but you need that kind of coach. You know, if you want to get the best out of your ball players, you need a guy that's in your face and is going to make you know that if you don't perform, he's going to be back in your face. So I don't problem with that. And how good he is with the 49ers in 2020. I mean, come on. I just got to talk about it a minute ago. Willis was certainly trending upward at the end of the 2021 season. On the inside, the 49ers obviously like Hurst, but it's hard to know what he'll bring after missing much of the 2021 season due to that injury that would never heal. Givens is back on a one-year deal and is a good bet to stick around. Ridgeway, who everybody likes, big, huge dude, man. He looks fast, too. Was added to on a one-year deal in free agency and may have to solidify his spot in the preseason. There's a few different combinations the 49ers could go with on defensive line, depending on who stands out in preseason. They're going to be trying all kind of combinations as well. So some guys are going to stand out, and there's those who are going to have to say goodbye. If JG ends up on the roster, the offensive line could be a position where the Niners look to clear up the spot. Lynch made it sound like sixth-round pick Khalil Davis was likely heading for a place on the PUP list to open up the season as he continues to heal from a torn ACL, which automatically probably puts him on the you put him on the how does he not affect the cap? Put him on the IR, right? Yeah, a lot of players go on the IR, and the 49ers put those. That's the 49ers layaway. They put you on IR. Now you don't really constitute any cap pressure. At the same time, they get to keep you, and nobody can take you away. Early prediction on the D line, the top 10 I just mentioned make the cut. Linebacker, let's go to it right now. Safe bets to make the 53-man roster: Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shard, Demetrius Flanagan, Foles, Oren Burks. Competing for a spot: Curtis Robinson, Reported undrafted free agent signings, Jeremiah Jamel, North Carolina. Segun Alubi, San Diego State. It's pretty clear here. The 49ers replaced Marcel Harris with Burks in free agency. And other than, it doesn't seem like there will be much else to challenge the status quo. So anybody else is coming into camp is just coming in to put themselves on display for other teams. One of the UDFAs emerging wouldn't be completely out of the question, but this is about the easiest position to project right now. You look around the linebacker crew, boy, the boys, they've gotten tough together, and they made each other better, which means early prediction, Warner, Greenlaw, Al-Shar, Flanagan, Foles, Burks. Done? Maybe. Cornerback. The saving safe bets to make the 53-man roster, Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, Embry. I can play this game, Thomas. Favorites to make the roster, Tariq Castro Fields, Diamador Lenore, Samuel Womack, Dante Johnson. Competing for a spot, Darqueze Denard and Kadar Hallman. Reported undrafted free agent signing. A cornerback safety, Taylor Hawkins. San Diego State, keep an eye on that during the preseason. Keep an eye on this guy. The top three feel set, while the draft additions of Castro Fields and Womack mean the 49ers will have a preseason battle between youth and experience for their final spots at this particular position. As you already know, the 49ers love them some Dante Johnson. Yeah, Dante, man, he's and liked what they saw from Denard after adding him late last year. But might they decide to go youth heavy at first while assuming they can add either of those players at a later point if need be? Because Dante Johnson's always sitting at home waiting on the phone call. Guy sleeps with the phone ready. I mean, should be interesting what happens here. The nickel spot will be one to watch after the free agency departure of K'Wan Williams. And I've always touted him as one of the best, if not the best, nickel back in NFL last year and the year before. I mean, K'Wan, man. I loved asking every time we played the Hawks and Rams, hey, where's Locker? Oh, K-Watt's got him. And even before what happened in the playoff last year, the Rams, we always had. Anyway, we got to find another one because Lenore in the 5th round pick, Womack could be among those to battle for that position. But Cooper Kupp knows. I still think K-Wan was hurt. Cooper never steamrolled K-Wan like that in the entire time. And I don't believe he lost that much of a... Never mind. It's over. 6th round pick, Tariq Castro Fields, a versatile addition who could help in a number of ways. Early prediction, 49ers go mostly young with Ward, Mosley, Thomas, and Castro Fields while keeping one out of Lenore and Womack between those teams, keeping Johnson as number 6. But don't be surprised to see them find a way to keep all of the youngsters on this roster. Safety, safe bets to make the 53-man roster. Jimmy Ward, Talanoa, Hufanga, George Odom, Tavarius Moore. Reported undrafted free agent signings, Leon O'Neal, Texas A&M. Another school out of the South, which I probably overrate everything going on in the South regarding football. But we'll see. Maybe an undrafted rookie steps in forward here. Or maybe the 49ers will wind up adding a veteran down the road to increase competition. Not out of the question. I'm thinking the 49ers thinking remains quite fluid, especially at this particular position. But, after deciding not to bring in a safety in the draft, Lynch made it sound like the team was set with Ward, Hufanga, Odom, and more going forward. Still, this position feels like a candidate for more competition to be brought in at some particular point. And and you know how John is. Well, all you'll see in your dailies is Lynch parading in guys that retired maybe a few years ago or just nobody knew anything about them. I think John sometimes drives down certain neighborhoods, peeping into people's backyards and seeing if there's a football player back there. He calls them in. Still, they haven't signed Kowski. Team fam, I would bet they're not going to. Hopefully, Moore will be able to bounce all the way back from the torn Achilles that wiped out his 2021 season. Early prediction is Ward, Hufanga, Odom, Moore. Specialists, safe bets to make the 53. Are you kidding me? Mitch Wisnowski, as the 49ers were moaning and groaning about him some point last year during the season. Mitch isn't going anywhere. He is your punter for 2022. Kicker Robbie Gould. He remains gold. And long snapper, Tabor Pepper. These are the only guys, fam, who can come into camp fat, drunk, wearing wearing prison stripes, and basically using bad language as they walk in. There's no competition for them. They can do anything they please. But they better not do that. It's funny. We'll find out. Fam, yeah, the Three Amigos, right? We could start calling it the Three Amigos. The modern day Three Amigos. Fam, let's get on. Jermaine Price Rumble. Today my son's birthday. Jermaine, he wants to hear you sing that song. Maybe I love doing it too. I'm gonna one day, this is like my clown routine before the show starts. All right, I'm untangled. I know you say, Rob, the thing is, your entire monologue is pretty much clown show. Happy. Hey, Jermaine, what's up, little mate? Happy birthday, Jermaine. Happy, not his birthday, Jermaine. Happy, Nana. Jermaine, I hope you just had like one of them birthdays and you can think about this birthday for the rest of your natural life. In fact, you may stay at this birthday for the rest and just stay this age for the rest of your life. Your dad will love it anyway. Hey, Jermaine Jr. Let us get on over here. Let me put my ears on over and I say, hey, yo, John. Big John. 49ers. No, this is 49ers Ultimate Report. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
John, I just went down through the roster to check things out, the state of the 49ers. John, your thoughts on who's going to be bounced, if you can go over that real quickly, and your feelings on some of the people that we probably should get rid of and some people we should keep, and that includes veterans and everybody else. What are you thinking?
After the draft, everybody, wants to know who's going to, be cut because, at the moment we have 90 players on the roster, just like every year. And yeah, that's a very, interesting question. And one of the things that I think most 49er fans will want to know is who are they going to cut because we signed Jason Verrett. I have a bit of some mixed feelings about him. When he's healthy, he's good. Dante Johnson, when you look at the cornerbacks, because we have a bunch of cornerbacks now, so that's going to be an area that they have to cut. And then the defensive line, we have so many pass rushers, defensive line players. That's going to be another area. But I don't think that they're going to make a bunch of cuts because for whatever the reason, they always cut other positions. And then, of course, they always keep the defensive line, packed. So it's very difficult for me who's going to say who's going to go, and it's too early for me to make that determination. Probably like around training camp, where we can start seeing the players that are going to be cut. On the offensive side, with all the offensive line players, we got a lot of depth there. So first we have to see. Besides Trent Williams, and then we don't know about Alex Mack. That's going to be another area that the Niners are going to look at because I'm not sure how many players we got on the offensive line from the draft and undrafted free agency. The wide receiver room, it's a good room now. Debo's still on the roster as of this moment, but let's hypothetically, keep him there. Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Ray McLeod. We drafted Danny Gray. That's going to be a good question. And when it comes to the running backs, I do think we're going to keep 4 running backs. So that's just my feeling on what they're going to do when it comes to cutting the players.
All right. Because, the running back room, I wouldn't – if I were in charge, listen, we're not cutting any running backs. There's going to be some guys we put on the 53. And there's going to be some guys we put in layaway on the practice squad. Every year, every single year, John. This goes back to Harbaugh's days. Well, not Harbaugh's days. It wasn't that bad. Well, no, we had a couple of years. But we run out of running backs week 13, 12, 13, 14. All of a sudden, we're down to 2, and we're waiting for one to come back. Every single year. So keeping them all would be nice. Even Trey. I need to see Trey Sermon. Though. John, what do you think about Trey Sermon? I think Tyrion was brought in to see if he can make sure that we don't have to depend on Sermon.
And yeah, that's also another good question because last year the Niners traded up with Rudy's team, anyway. But we traded up with them, and we barely used them. Like when our running backs were hurt, we chose to use Deebo Samuel as the running back. So,
but John,
I don't know.
What does that tell you about Trey Sermon? This is what that's what I'm talking about. If I got to look around my roster, I look at Trey and I say, oh no, Deebo, let me talk to you for a second. And that speaks volumes about Trey Sermon. Maybe he steps up this year, though. We'll see.
Yeah, and we do have to use them because I think we drafted them in the 3rd round, so we have to use Trey Sermon. So I was like, we better use him.
If he's not helping you any, you don't put him out there just because of his draft position. If he can't help you, he's out. Mm-hmm. You just made a mistake. You just say, somebody says to you, what the hell did you do? We thought he was going to work out. Okay, we're sorry. And that's it. Tyrion gets the spot. Because you're not going to make, Elijah Mitchell's not sitting down. And it's going to be Trey versus Davis. I got a feeling. Yeah,
and hopefully, you're right. Our players, our running back room. We have to, expect some injuries because for whatever the reason, since Kyle has been the coach, I don't know if we've had a running back that was fully healthy for an entire season.
We haven't.
So, in the year we went to the Super Bowl, we had 3 running backs with over 600 yards. So, and none of them stayed healthy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they all went down at one point. So yeah.
So, at the end of the day, we have to. If Sermon has to, step in there, hopefully he's a player that was worth a 3rd round pick. Because if you're using, any other players, like if you're using still wide receivers, and so that's the thing that, and of course we also drafted it in the 2nd round, in the 3rd round, the LSU wide receiver. So hopefully the Niners know what they're doing. Until right now, this moment, we cannot make any speculations, but hopefully we do use these running backs.
Because right now, Elijah Mitchell, Juice, of course, is going to be on the roster. Jeff Wilson Jr., don't forget about him, hard running back. Tyrion Davis-Price. Some folks already think it's going to be between Trey Sermon and JaMychal Hasty for that final spot. And JaMychal beat Sermon out on the depth chart last year. So we'll see. Sermon may be ready to play now. Maybe there was something going on in his head last year. He's a better football player than we saw. So I do agree that he can play better than that. So we'll see.
Well, all right, Ronbo, I know you have a lot of callers. Thanks for having me on.
All right, fam. Appreciate having you. Always. 49ers Ultimate Report. Check him out. It's right here on YouTube. And, John, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Or a great evening, should I say.
And of course, it's Niners all day.
Talk to you shortly. John! Is it Papa Dragon? Bob!
Hello, Ronbo.
Bob, we're sitting here making these way too soon predictions, and some of the people we think are gonna pan out and be here on that last day of the cut, writing, calling, Mama, I made the team. Who's gonna be those guys? You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea, but I would like to continue the running back conversation.
Oh, you certainly can. Yes.
Yes. The true or false are the 49ers and running football team.
Yeah.
True or false?
True, absolutely. Yeah.
That's really true. out of all of our 9 draft picks, Ronbo, which particular draft pick will have the most impact this year?
Is that a true or false question? You know what? Of all the running backs we picked this year, let me guess. Tyrion Davis Price?
TDP.
Danny Gray.
What did he say?
He said Danny Gray. He said Danny was just up. Because Kyle likes to take all his wide receivers and make them into running backs.
The second player to most impact is going to be Drake Jackson. However, I really don't see him coming in unless it's 3rd and long or for Hail Mary. Well,
Hey,
here's the
Pop,
problem.
you know what? I saw some photos of him. And I went and checked. He can actually run the ball. He's got that kind of athleticism. That boy's a freak.
No, he is an amazing player, but he's went through a major body fluctuation, which does nothing but hurt you. It helped end my career as a football player. So he's got to get his body under control. He's got to get his strength up. The same thing can be said for our 3rd round pick, Danny Gray. Danny Gray, he's got to get stronger. He's already showed up 15 pounds heavier than what he was at the combine. So right now he's around 200 pounds.
Wait. He's 15 pounds. He was 15 pounds heavier in the since the combine. You didn't say at the combine.
Yes.
Yes, move that fast, 15 pounds. What has he been eating? But go ahead.
Well, he's got to get his weight up. He's got to get his weight up. Otherwise, you're talking about, somebody probably too small for a physical football team like the 49ers. Remember,
what you're saying, he needs to get heavier. Yeah, okay.
Remember, people have to come on this team and they have to beat people out, right? It's that simple. So it's not like we got a Pro Bowl running back sitting back there. I'm the Pro Bowl guy. No one's knocking me off. No, we don't have that.
You got Debo. That's a Pro Bowl running back, fam.
Yeah. I love our guys. But, Mitchell, for example, it seems like he uses all his energy to get through the hole. And after that, it doesn't seem like he has a second gear.
True. That's a good observation. That's true.
Yeah. I think Danny Gray, and I've actually watched some of his 22 tape. He's got a lot of work to do to get his route running and get his release NFL ready. So he's a year away.
But he's one of those kids that depending on his speed, and his coaches said, let it go. You know what? Just send him out deep. We'll be fine. Yeah, and didn't work on technique and skills.
Yeah, but on the 22, people weren't fearing his speed. So that means some work to do. He's got to be able to drive off the line of scrimmage like he's going full speed, and he has to be able to cut on a dime. And when he at that point, he'll probably be very, very deadly.
Very effective. Yes.
Right. Spencer Burford, same thing. He's got to get his NFL strength right. The one guy that down on here that could really jump out is Samuel Womack, the cornerback out of Toledo. He's got a lot of experience
and speed.
Slot.
Yeah.
And long arms. So if he doesn't get the defense down this year, he definitely will be in the mix to start next year. Nick, the same thing with the next, all of them except for K. Davis, round 6 at defensive tackle. He's going to be a red shirt. So who gets cut? Anybody here get cut? I'm not sure if anybody gets cut, but
the defensive line.
Well, I wouldn't say. I think that when you're cutting people, you cut them for 2 reasons. Sometimes you can cut them for cap savings, or you can cut them for that candidate is going to be Ekibon. You could also cut, just for performance. You just have too many people there. Then you have to cut. Guy can I stash on the practice squad that somebody else won't try to pick up? Because our team goes with the defensive line. That's where our team is built, and that's is going to carry the 49ers far. Now, I want people to realize something. This time last year, the 4th best quarterback in the NFC West was Garoppolo. Fast forward to this year, the 4th best quarterback in the NFC West is Drew Lock in Seattle. So we're up a spot just by subtraction. The entire conference has been weakened because a lot of talent has went to the AFC. So I think somebody came out with some NFL rankings recently, and they projected the 49ers at number 5. So
yeah, I read that today. Yeah.
A lot of depth there. So hard to say who's going to get cut. It really is. I got a bold prediction. Who's going to get cut? Jimmy G. See ya.
What is bold about that prediction?
Cap savings. He's going to throw a pass, and he's going to get cut.
Wait, you say he's going to throw a pass? Oh, you say he's not going to throw a pass, and he's going to get cut. Yeah, and actually, he needs to, because the fact of the matter is, it's going to make Trey, and between Kyle, Trey, and Jimmy, there's going to be a situation, because now Trey's going to have to come in thundering, because if something goes wrong, then he's going to get nervous, he's going to press, he's going to push, and he's going to screw up even worse. As Jimmy's sitting back there thinking, yeah, looks like your starter's having a little trouble there, Coach. So nobody wants that. And so, you need to clear the air, but you need a third quarterback, and I'm not sure Purdy's it,
Nobody,
So,
25-man backup either.
yeah, Sudfeld's not.
So at the money. So it's like, let's say if you cut people based on salaries and performance. So let's say Ikeban gets cut, and let's say Jimmy gets cut. Okay, that's over $34 million in cap savings.
Yeah.
So you start getting yourself ready for the next offseason, right? So this year we'll figure out where we're at with Trey Lance, and we'll try to, hopefully we can get hot, and hopefully we can get lucky in the playoffs, and hopefully we can go the distance. It's not out of the room possibility. Roethlisberger did it, when he was a rookie. So it's not impossible.
No, he's surrounded by some great talent. He just needs to get out there and just do his part and grow. Because John's already made it clear they're not cutting him. So they've got to get somebody, because the 49ers want to return on Jimmy, and it is something scary. We'll see what happens.
I don't think they'll carry him though. So he's my bold prediction. I believe
All right,
that.
there you go. Even though he says we have no problem keeping Jimmy, but we're not just going to give him away. But I stand behind that boldness. We'll see. Because honestly, how big a fan I am of Jimmy. Him being on the squad is going to be a problem. Either
stand behind what he's trying to say, because what he's hoping for is that someone needs a quarterback in training camp.
Yeah.
At that point, the business will be back open. And
that'll give him back. That'll give him what he wants. Exactly. Get something in return. So
if heads like Tannehill have done anything, Kirk Cousins have done anything in this league, it has shown you how important certain types of quarterbacks can be in this league. And if you don't think that Alex Smith isn't important, or Jimmy Garoppolo isn't important, that they can't help, turn franchises around, that they can't help their younger players.
Every guy just mentioned. Exactly. The leadership edge, if nothing else.
Yep.
Pop, we did run our time, as always do. We're in the middle of something and we got to stop. You know what? I may be back tomorrow. All right?
I've heard that promise before.
I know. I was supposed to be back yesterday. It's all about the equipment. All right.
Dungeon, to the Niner faithful. Shout out to the Big Show and the Big Ho. Subscribe and hit like. Ronbo Sports.
Thanks, Pop. Always appreciate you, fam. Talk later. Hey, yo, Jay. J.
Who's the big
Jay.
hoe, Ronbo? Who's that?
Bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay. Hey, Jay, if you're going out to the roster, you look at some of these guys, the predictions being made, you know what? The only really room that is for sure is probably the linebackers right now. The guys that are in there aren't going to get beat out by anybody we just brought in. And by the way, Jay, how do you feel about Dante Johnson? The 49ers love him to death. He's already being pretty much assumed by most to be able to make this team as well. So,
Yeah, he's probably going to make it back. Yeah. He's gonna make
I have no problem. I like him now.
Yeah, me too. Yep. I got a problem with this, Ronbo. Like, our defensive line is so trash, Ronbo. Like, what the hell are we doing, man? Are you fucking
defensive
serious,
line or
Ronbo?
offensive line?
Defensive line, Ronbo.
Really? You think the defensive line is
Ronbo,
trash?
What the hell? Yeah,
He's kidding.
man. Like,
You're kidding. I know you, Jay. You're joking again.
Okay.
That defensive line is lit. Are you serious? If there's one thing this team has is a great defensive line.
Can I get with you wrong? I'm like, we're trash. Something wrong.
I'm not talking about Jay,
you got to be
Jay,
high.
tell me. Jay, you're joking. If there's one thing to feel comfortable about is your defense.
That's got to be. Hey, Ronbo, that's going to be some good shit he's
You know why
on.
it's trash?
Why?
Because we still got D Ford right here. What the fuck, Ronbo?
No, D
We
Ford
got a
is,
guy
but he has
that's
nothing to
giving
do.
our money,
That's
Ronbo?
a horrible
What?
excuse. He didn't even touch the field last year. That's a horrible
D's
excuse.
not.
He didn't touch the field last year.
We,
You
that's
gotta
why we got
you gotta
Drake
come up with a
Jackson,
better one than
fam.
that, man.
Ah, that's why we got Jake. That's why we got Drake.
Drake who?
Jay, you need to stop messing with that low grade dope. All right, listen. Drake Jackson is coming in, and we already got some other guys on the edge on the opposite Nick Bosa. And you know, between Nick Bosa and Drake, whoever's going to play the other side, there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, I guess so, Ronbo.
You are serious. I can tell. Okay, what about the offensive
I'm
line?
not even
Then?
serious, Ronbo.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
are.
kidding.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, but D Ford's he's making his exit this year. It's already clear. So he's
I know.
He's not even gonna try to play.
I feel like we should get rid of Samson Ebukam or Ekibom. I don't even know what's his name, but he's holding up $8 million. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, six mil cap hit.
Right. And then for Drake Jackson just to replace the guy, basically, it's kind of similar, but about our offensive line, though, I think what we did this year is we just drafted offensive linemen and guys we picked up from
Undrafted, free agency.
Yeah, undrafted guys, and they're gonna have a competition. Basically, we're gonna put them in all of them are gonna battle for whoever wants to start
Offensive line,
and the offensive line. We're gonna put them in the blender. Let's see which one tastes good, Ronbo.
Put him in a blender. You know what? Yeah. Between Trent Williams, Alex Mack will not tell people what he wants to do next. Aaron Banks, you know what? I tell you what, these question marks we have around the roster are really, there's a few. Aaron Banks is one of them. And then you got the center spot.
Trent Williams is one of them too, Ronbo, honestly.
Who?
Trent Williams.
You think Trent Williams is a question mark? Jay, man, come on, man. What? How come?
I'm just kidding, Ronbo.
You do that so well. You fool me every time. Michael Gitchie. We don't know what he looks like, though.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to play week 1. I don't know if he is going to play week 1.
Michael Gitchie?
Because that injury I heard is serious. Yeah, Michael Gitchie.
He's healed up. He's not going to play. The doctors aren't going to let him out there unless he's healed up. Yeah, he's healed up. He's been working out. Just Google. I'm not Google, but Google or YouTube, and you can see him training. He looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
You can't keep a good man down. Michael Gitchie, and I know people don't think he's a good man, but the thing is, Mike worked his butt off. I could tell. You heard about that injury being usually career threatening. He doesn't look like that. It looks good. Even Javon Kinlaw. I guess Chris Kasuk was probably calling him every night. Javon, listen, don't you make me look bad. I'm telling you right now, don't make me come over there. So Javon looks good. And so between Michael Gitchie and Javon Kinlaw, I think we have some good football players.
Yeah. I feel like we should keep 5 running backs in our, keep them, to be honest with you, because that position is so important to us. And we lose a guy in the game, and before halftime probably. So hopefully we keep 5 running backs instead of 4, to be honest with you, because Jeff Wilson and Mitchell are injury prone. And Ronbo, I don't understand why people keep on hating on Trey Sermon, man. This man got concussed week fucking 2, Ronbo. Literally. This man literally got hit in the head, Ronbo. I don't know. It might have been illegal. Who knows?
Okay.
It didn't look good, Ronbo.
You know what? I
was
was mad about that hit. I agree with that.
I was
but
so
listen,
mad. What the hell?
Before that hit, that hit, he did look good on that run.
I did. Yeah.
But how about Elijah Mitchell? Elijah Mitchell looks like he went down the wrong street in Compton. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, he used to come out every week after he'd get over these things and play some good football. So if Trey's not as tough as Elijah Mitchell, come on, man.
I mean, Trey, literally, I think he played in against Seahawks, right? What week was that? That was week 4 or 5, right? And
Trey?
I think he had Trey Sermon. He had 88 yards, I'm pretty sure, running or something.
Did he?
So I think so. And I just felt like he's been pretty decent, But about Elijah Mitchell, once he doesn't really have a burst, Ronbo. I don't know.
Yeah,
he ain't that quick.
I think we all agree on that.
He has
Elijah gets through the hole.
speed, to be honest with you, Ronbo.
Yeah, he
You
doesn't
seen
go
the
anywhere.
interview, right? He
What?
looks more bulkier, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did bulk up.
He did
I saw him.
1 week ago or something, 2 weeks ago. He looks
He-
bigger, so I think he don't have that speed no more.
But you know what though? But Jay, once they killed him early in the season, and first couple of games, he was just money. He was getting away, and then they busted him up. And that's the difference between college football and pros. You come to play with the grown-ups, now you got a problem if you can't endure the pain. And Elijah said, my back, my neck, my leg, my back, and my neck. And then the 49ers just wrapped him up, laid him in the refrigerator, and brought him out on Thursday night and let him learn the plays. And he come back out there. That's why he's got character. Elijah was in pain probably every carry. And Kyle was giving him the ball 10, 15, 20 times. Kyle, what you let Jeffrey Wilson play?
I know.
So,
we should have a running back committee, to be honest with you. I don't know why don't we have that, because look, we always keep on running our running backs. That's how they get hurt more faster, to be honest with you.
well,
Why won't we let them rest, Doesn't make sense.
this is why there's going to be some, boy, Kyle, somebody needs to tell him. Maybe we got Anthony Lynn. Maybe Anthony will say, Kyle, let me talk to you a minute. Yeah. Listen, you're going to kill that kid. What are you talking about? Let him rest. Let him rest, Kyle. Jesus.
Ramo, one last thing.
Real quick.
Look, I think we should cut Jimmy, because I think Trey really don't want the smoke, to be honest with you, Rombo.
I tend to agree.
You agree,
It is going to be a
right?
problem if he said, I want Trey to relax.
You're tripping right there, Rombo. You're
No,
tripping
I
right there.
just-
Okay, buddy.
I said it.
Okay. Oh, what? Okay, you have a good day, Rombo.
You do, like Jay. And Jay, don't drink that low price wine. When you call in here, drink something that has some quality to it. Sound like you're crazy. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Gotta tell him. Hey, is it Chicago Sports Talk? Hey, Michael.
Hey, this is my first time on here.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever saw that name. Oh, hello, Michael. Chicago
What's
Sports
up,
Talk.
Romo? Hey,
Nothing. Yeah, go ahead.
I am a Chicago Bears fan. And I know, just because I said that, I know who's going up here, and I know he's been on your streams. His name is Don Bird. And
Don Burr. It's B-U-R, right.
Yeah.
He's the Lions fan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He is always in our live streams spamming Detroit versus everybody, bro.
Oh, he bothers you guys
like-
too? He bothers Bears fans? Oh, that would make sense, though. You're in this conference. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you only beat us one time. You only beat us one time, and you all have the nerve to talk, bro. We beat you with Brian Hoyer at one point, and that was our bad year. And
can you imagine your whole life prerogative? And first of all, you're a Lions fan, and you asked for that pain. But walking around bothering others with a rhetoric that makes no sense is Don Bird here, guys? Usually he's hanging. He goes from your place to ours and to every 49er room. Why the 49ers, I'm not sure. So what else you want to say about him? I could talk about Don Bird for hours. The guy's an idiot. Tom is cold
sure
like it
is,
is, man. You are strange.
there's one thing he is, though: comedy relief.
That's true. Has he ever called in? You ever called in? A chat. He calls in and he says, well, production finally got mad and blocked him. He just says, Lions versus the world. Lions versus the world? Was it Detroit versus the world?
He says that all the time. He
What does
says
that mean?
all the time, bro.
Hey, while you're here though, Michael, what is it looking like in Chicago, man? You guys aspirations? You gonna get? I understand there's some complaints about getting Justin Fields the kind of help he needs. What are you going to share that with us real quick?
For Justin Fields' help, I know we kind of didn't give him the best help in this year's draft. Well, except for like third round, we got him a receiver, but people don't understand our secondary was probably the worst in the league last year. So I feel like that was definitely in need, but I actually wanted George Pickens in that draft. I'm happy with who I got.
There you go. You know what? Now you've got the attention of Jackson in the UK, gets in here all the time. He was telling us about Pickens before the draft. Pickens I understand he's got off-field issues. He's not what you call the best of citizens. So if your coaches or your management's like anything like the 49ers, they take into account, when they interview you, they're looking for certain things. And if you answer questions in a certain fashion, they'll be good about it. If you say the wrong thing, they're done with you, no matter how talented you are. 49ers may have talked to Pickens, but somebody said that.
Like, I was mad when the Steelers took him, but I understand because he had like off the field issues and stuff like that. And for the record, I know everybody was like saying, "Oh, you need to build talent around Justin Fields." Okay, we will build the talent around him, but I don't think Justin Fields has enough to go back and forth with the elite talent in the NFL. Basically, you have to score 40 points to like win a game, and this next play your defense gives up a 50-yard bomb to like Deebo Samuel, for example.
That was a nice catch. The Bears have a tradition. You guys are that team that was terrorizing. You got a history. I don't know what it's going to take to get back to that, but there's something going on with the management that's a lot different. I mean, the monsters of the Midway, you got to return to that at some point. And, it's all about the defense. And you had that defense, Khalil Mack and company. That was scary.
Very scary. Very scary.
And it worked, How do you feel about Mitchell Trubisky making an exit, though?
I actually felt bad for him. I actually felt bad for Trubisky. I felt him when I just feel like Matt Nagy was the problem, and it kind of showed that his offense never changed. And he always kept saying Trubisky was never the answer. He always used Trubisky as a scapegoat, and look at how that turned him. He's basically helping Andy Reid carry his grocery bags.
You know what's going to be funny? Watching Mitch in Pittsburgh. He's with the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Steelers picked up another quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see, though, how that works out. You can always tell whose fault it was, because even with Mariota, after he left Tennessee, when he played with the Raiders last year, I was like, whoa, look at Mariota. And then something went wrong toward the end of the game, but it wasn't his fault. It was pretty much things were going on. But you never know about a quarterback in a certain program. They get better or worse, and we'll see what happens. So... But anyway, Mike, great to meet you. If you call in anytime, any non-friend of Don Burr is a friend of mine. You know what I mean? So call in anytime you like, and we can talk more.
And now that I just called in, I guarantee you he's gonna hop in pretty soon.
I was hoping he'd come in now and say, "Y'all go double team Don Burr." Now it's Don Burr, the Lions, and Detroit versus the world.
The only thing Detroit will be facing is the toilet pretty soon.
They've got some good draft. They had kind of a decent draft. It's going to be interesting to watch them. The Jets, Detroit, the Eagles, these are all teams that did a number. We'll be interested to see what they do with it. So, all right, Michael. Tell you,
all right.
Good luck to you. We'll talk to you later.
And bear down all day. Bear down all day.
I like it. All right. Bye, Michael. Oh, God. And let's go up here and check out. Didn't I see Big Show had something he wanted me to talk about a minute ago? I saw a little green sign. And I got to see if I can get things here straight here. It's pretty funny, because like we get visits from who would have thought I didn't know Don Bird was making the rounds. He spends all his waking moments irritating people. Big Show says Jordan Mason, running back, Georgia Tech, UDFA speedster. Watch out for him. Show, do we have this guy? All right. Well, thanks, Show. Hey, Bethel.
Hi, Ronbo.
Bethel, we're taking a look at what we've got and making predictions. There's no intelligence behind our predictions. We're just looking at them at face value and what we know about them. The running back room seems to be something people want to talk about other than Jay, who says our defensive line sucks, which is confusing to me. And, of course, the offensive line is always a question mark. Bethel, what are you seeing where predictions may be a little weird? And our secondaries, everything's a question pretty much, except for the linebacking crew. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking all this draft is about the depth. It's about, what we could do in having more players, because if you see what happened in the Super Bowl and the championship, our defense was tired.
Yep.
They
got tired in 2019, same thing. Yep.
Yeah. That's why they need people that they could count, that if they take out and they replace them with somebody else,
it's not hurting
they're going to come in.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're not hurting the team. And the running back, I think there's one reason, and it's because if you will see the tape, I don't know how many times I said, why is the running back, or why is even like Kyle, you check, why are they not blocking this guy or tipping him or do something? And with the running back that we got, he's the fifth best
pass blocker,
running back
pass protection.
in pass blocking.
Yeah,
in pass protection. So if he's out there, he's going to protect Trey, because how many times did we need a kiddo to be blocking because other people were not doing their job?
Absolutely.
At blocking.
Absolutely. And, and like you said, Juice is knocking people out, but he can't knock everybody out. He's got to have his mouth out there.
Yeah.
So that third, we need a Frank Gore type of guy. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Get Frank then.
Yes. Yeah. So, that's why, they probably did what they did. And then plus another thing that people should realize is that all these draft picks are not going to hurt the cap, because the only ones that will hurt the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, all the 50 players from 50 and down are the ones that hurt the teams in the cap hit.
Well, even they don't hurt you as bad as a first-round pick. First-round pick, depending upon the position, gets paid big bucks. I mean, I understand that guy that the Jacksonville Jaguars picked up. They gave him fully guaranteed rookie salary at number 1. And I believe they added some other things, too. So, but you know what? Jacksonville's got mad money. They suck. That's when you suck like that, you've got money to burn. They're probably throwing money out the windows every now and then. We got too much money here, guys. This is going to help us on our tax relief. So, we don't have that luxury, so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only one that we have on here that is going to count to the cap if we cut him, it's one of the guards that we got that I think I was hearing about him. They were saying that he was a good captain. And when he was in the huddle, he was always helping people. That's why he became a captain. And I think that's why we got him.
Yeah, not only that, we need a guard.
Yeah.
You're talking about, what is his name? Burford? Burford. Spencer Burford, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we need him, though. We can't be worried about his rookie draft money. We got to have that. We're in trouble in an offensive line in a couple spots right now.
And, and I've seen that some of the guys that we drafted, a lot of them were captains in their college
on the teams?
career.
Yeah. That's what we want. So, Bethel, I didn't know that. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. Kyle, they're doing their homework. Get these guys in there with a good head on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we cannot judge until we see what's going out there. Because remember, a lot of us didn't like George Kittle, didn't like Fred Warner.
Wait a minute,
and look at them now.
I didn't know anything about George Kittle. I didn't like him or dislike him.
Yeah,
I just said, who is this guy?
That's why people didn't like him, because they didn't know who he was. And look at him now.
Bethel, do you automatically not like people because you don't know them? Bethel, that's racism.
No, I don't do that.
No, it's prejudice.
I'd rather see what they do out in the field before you judge somebody. You don't ever judge
you
anybody.
remain neutral on that guy. But you know what?
Yeah.
George Kittle, now he's like he's the people's tight end now. So you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's another thing. And then another thing is that, people are not saying, look at Tannehill, talking all that shit that he's not going to mentor his backup quarterback, and he's a third rounder.
It's not his job. I know it's not my job. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people don't give Jimmy credit. Jimmy Garoppolo's a cool guy. If I knew Jimmy, man, I'd be hanging out with him all the time just because he's such a cool guy, man. I'm telling you. Tannehill's only my job to mentor him. He wants to ask me some questions. I'm good, but don't ask me unless you pay me some extra money to tell him nothing. Tannehill's feeling threatened is his problem.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna be getting paid 38. I'm like, you're paying him 38, and he's basically saying that he's not gonna teach him. If he learns, he learns. He's on his own. Like,
wait, 38 what?
38 million. I think he gets guaranteed.
Tannehill?
Tannehill?
What?
Yeah, I think I seen that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, Tannehill.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
Remember, he got a contract not that long ago.
Yeah. Well, if Derrick Henry doesn't come back, and he's already lost A.J. Brown, they're going to have some issues in Tennessee.
Yeah, they are. So, that big locker room, has a, so I'm thinking because of it, Jimmy draft capital probably went up a little bit. So, because now people are saying, hey, do you want a guy like that in the locker room? No, I'd rather have I'd rather have a Jimmy G where he's going to teach our quarterback, some stuff. At least, he's teaching them something, not fucking being a little brat.
And not only that, if I'm Cleveland or whatever team is looking for Baker Mayfield, I look at Jimmy. I take Jimmy over Baker Mayfield anyway. But I see Jimmy's laying back, not saying things. Baker's running around all pissed off and making sure everybody knows. And, it's pretty funny. So Jimmy's going to get a job because of Baker.
Yeah, and then I seen that A.J. Brown, his guarantee money was 40. So I'm thinking that's going to help us with Deebo Samuel, getting a deal done maybe with the Niners. If you give him some guarantee money, he's not going to ask as much because of A.J. Brown not getting a big deal.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about $7 million, put it that way. Beth, we're going to go. Yeah. By the way, Clown Man, I tried to withdraw that. You should listen. I said prejudice, not racism. Listen, anybody in here that loves leaning right, don't come at me with that crap. I said prejudice, but he says he didn't like him because he didn't know him. Okay, I tried to tell you through that. All right. Anyway, Bethel, we got to go though.
All right, Ronbo, great night. Hit the like and let's go Niners.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right.
Yo, Rowan.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Rohan, man, we're just sitting back here contemplating our picks and future, and I'm wondering, we do this every year, and we always know. Right. Actually, for the last couple of years, for the last 3 years, we've already known. Oh, we're going to compete now. Now we got certain guys that need to come back. You look at Alex Mack, and Alex Mack said, "Hey, Alex, are you going to play this year?" God don't know, guys. Can I get a couple of days? No! So he won't tell us anything. And then you got the secondary. No more K'Wan Williams, another guy depended on. And we got guys coming in to fill that spot. Are they going to be able to do that? Because these are important spots. Alex Mack was actually just strange, huge on that offensive line. K'Wan was a guy I depended on when I couldn't depend on any of our other cornerbacks. Let me stop. Rowan didn't call in to listen to me preach to him. Rowan, get in here, man. What is your observations on this, on the state of this franchise right now as far as personnel goes?
Right, Ronbo. So, I mean, earlier, right, in this offseason, we see the 49ers change their MO in a way. And over the past couple of years, they haven't necessarily cared about the age of the players that they've signed. You've seen them go after guys like Alex Mack. When Kyle Shanahan started, who were the main cornerstones that he signed? It wasn't young guys. It wasn't 25-year-olds. No, it was 31-year-old Pierre Garçon to a 1-year, $15 million contract. Then on top of that, we got Weston Richburg, a guy entering his age 28-29 season on a 5-year, $47.5 million contract.
Great point.
So then when I see this change, I'm like, look, the 49ers understand that they're moving into a different part of their franchise in that they need to create favorable situations for not only their present but their future, because they have a young rookie quarterback. They don't have a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, at least from our expectation, that's going to play on the roster in 2022. You have a younger guy, which means you kind of want to build a little more for that future, get a couple of pieces. So guess what do you see? You see George Odom get signed to a 3-year deal. You see Oren Burks get signed to a 2-year deal. Charvarius Ward, a 25-year-old corner, as opposed to 31 or 32-year-old Stephon Gilmore, you see him signed to a 3-year deal. So in my opinion, Ronbo, I think this change, finally getting away from the old regime where you had 30-year-old K'Wan Williams, 31-year-old Jaquiski Tart, and now you're moving forward with younger players. Now, in my opinion, is that the smartest strategy? I'm not necessarily sure, because those guys were proven commodities. We're now going towards the more unproven commodities, at least with rookies and with first-year, second-year players that haven't played a ton in the NFL. But it just seems like that's the way the 49ers are going this offseason. How about you?
Absolutely agree. And you're right. As they're planning ahead with some team, this team can grow together. You got your new quarterback in position. This team can grow together and go forward. The guys they were signing back in the day, those older guys, they thought we're going to win it. Now they're out of the Rams formula for winning. We're past that now. We're starting to filter into the next generation. And hopefully it'll be a segue that Belichick will even say, well, they probably did a pretty good job with that. So, yeah, so I hear you.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, we see it with last draft. We see it with this draft. And there's like a theme. You have players that can contribute in 22 or last year, players that can contribute in 2022, and then players that could contribute immediately in 2021. When you look at the picks, Trey Lance was a pick directly made for 2022. His own coaching staff at NDSU advised the 49ers brass that they should redshirt him, that he would benefit the most if they did it. 49ers go ahead and do that, play him in just 2.5 games when Garoppolo was injured, and he looked pretty good. I mean, me personally, I'm very excited. I think he's got top-tier potential when I scouted him back in 2019, 2020.
Oh, you look at him even in 2019? Okay, yeah.
2019 was the film I watched the most because that was the year he played fully to see if he can be consistent. But my point is, Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, guys like Elijah Mitchell were all guys that I thought would be 2022 related picks for that Trey Lance type of scheme, with Elijah Mitchell taking over from Mostert, however Mostert gets injured. So you have a fair share of immediate contributors and a fair share of 2022 contributors. Aaron Banks sliding into left guard, and I think we committed to that same type of methodology this offseason, where you have Drake Jackson, an immediate contributor at 61, but also raw potential where you can get a great player for the future opposite of Nick Bosa. Then on the offensive line, you got Spencer Burford, who in my opinion is a developmental offensive guard who has
Rowan, you think so?
high upside.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna take a minute, isn't he? We're gonna have some of those.
For me personally,
moments.
I believe that. For me personally, I do believe that. I think that he's a little bit less refined in pass protection. Great in the run game, athletic. He's 6'4", 305. I think he's got to build a little more frame before he can play a little consistently in the NFL. I actually thought our 6th round pick, Nick Zakej, or I'm not exactly sure to say his name. I thought he was a little more pro ready. I think Burford has the higher potential. I thought Zakej, though, was a little more pro ready because he's 6'6", 315. The one thing is he doesn't have much experience, only played guard at the Senior Bowl throughout his entire collegiate career. So he will have some transition time in the training camp process, but I think he can compete to start potentially at guard or center for the 49ers in 2022.
I do agree, though. The program was actually interrupted. You see Ambry Thomas on the field before you want to. You see
Right.
Elijah Mitchell on the field before you want to. You know what's so funny, though, Rowan? They never would fool around with Aaron Banks. He is the one who really worries me. Can you tell me about Aaron Banks? What do you know about him? Because I don't watch college ball enough. And then last year, Lynch made all kind of excuses as to why I wouldn't put him in there. Weight problems, this, that, and this, and this. We want to get him up to speed. John, what's the truth? I've always wondered.
Yeah. Let's talk about it in both ways, right? Because obviously you take everything John Lynch says with a grain of salt. He's Mr. PR
Now
over there.
I do. I used to think he was the gospel.
Yeah, but now, like when I think about Aaron Banks, right? I take in a lot of things into consideration. Coming into last year, he was expected. A lot of people wanted him to start at guard immediately. Personally, I wasn't a fan. I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan of the pick itself because I didn't think he fit the scheme. He was too big. He wasn't fast enough to play in an agile type of scheme like the zone run scheme really needs you to with your offensive lineman. I thought he was a better pass protector, but not necessarily the good run blocker that the 49ers wanted. It's not that he wasn't good. It's just when you have the transition in the NFL, it's not like you're playing guys that are 4.7 speed, 4.6 speed in the secondary and with your linebackers. You're playing guys that have that NFL level speed. And so
explosion.
You have to be able to adjust exactly and play to a better speed. And that's why I think Aaron Banks had a little bit of a struggle coming in, right? Because he wasn't really tailor-made for the scheme at his original size. Also, he had an injury very early, setting him back 2 to 3 weeks. In a playbook that really requires you to get the most reps possible before you hit the field.
You need so many reps, exactly.
Exactly, and that's why I thought Brunskill had the upper edge in a way.
And you know what, Rowan, if I had to make a bet, Brunskill's still going to win for that very same reason he's going to start this year. His talent is not where you want it to be for this team, but he knows more than the rest of the guys. He's going to outplay them for a while longer. And we're gonna, it's gonna be interesting to see how we start this season off the first 4 or 5 weeks. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with the AFC West until mid-season. I don't know what the schedule looks like, but oh my God, that's frightening. Rowan, are you my Rowan that writes those incredible articles on 49ers Web Zone?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm on 49ers Web Zone.
There he is, Phil. I knew he knew too much about what he was talking about. Him and Breezy got together the other day, and I retweeted that. So he's Rowan. Rowan, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes even I struggle, I'll be honest. But Chuck Ravarthi.
Say it again.
Chuck Ravarthi.
Chuck Ravarthi. All right. Because what I'm saying,
Breezy's my guy, man. Breezy's my guy. I mean, if you want, Ronbo, I'd love to come on the show sometime, just talk some shop about 49ers if you'd like that.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while, but listen, you're one of the guys that you and Breezy, we fire that back up again. I'll be in contact, so appreciate that. Meanwhile, I love you checking in here. Your insights are brilliant. I love your articles too. So there you go. All right.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Hey, my pleasure, and you're welcome. We'll see you again later, okay? And I'll continue to retweet and post you up too. All right. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Have a great night. Clown man, I'm not trying to talk politics with you. You came at me because I accidentally said the word racism. Don't turn that around. I don't talk politics on here. Don't. I'm telling you, don't. Hey, yo, Ellis, get in here. Ellis may be tired with the kids. Emilio! Come on, man, don't push it. Emilio! Because nobody cares about that subject.
Yeah, my bad.
Emilio! Come on in, man. we've endured some fun stuff tonight. You know, you got Jay.
Well,
as
yeah, some of your colors are on, so it seems like
You know,
some of your colors are on. So I'm like, man,
Jay does that.
Can I get some ass shit?
Jay
I'm like,
does that.
damn.
He does that every time he calls, though. He always comes in sideways, and then all of a sudden he say, "Oh, I'm just joking." No, you wasn't.
Hey,
I'll be ready next
whatever
time,
he's
though.
smoking. You know, I think it's besides I think he's on shrooms. He be over there hallucinating.
And then the Chicago fan was fun because, you know, we all have the same feel about Don Burr. I love to go up and down the net and find out Don Burr hits every place he can.
I was at that Chicago. You remember I was at that Chicago game and we were talking about Diva? I was there.
Yeah.
I seen that firsthand.
Yeah, I remember that before you
As soon
went.
as you brought up Diva.
Didn't we talk to you when you went to Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was fun. So, you know, I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see how they work this out. You know, but Rowan hit it right. You know, the 49ers are reforming that team for our very eyes. We're not going for the young, the old guys, and we're getting those guys that have at least got a rookie contract done and got some experience out there. So I like what they're doing. I hadn't paid that a lot of attention. So.
Well, part of that, and then when you kind of see what they're doing, they're building for the future. Because if you think about it, they're in the win mode now and for the future. So what they did, I get it. So let's say if we win the Super Bowl this year, next year, we got a lot of young players. A lot of the players they picked up, they're barely turning 21. So it's kind of a good thing what they were doing. So I get what they were doing. I didn't realize that at first. I'm like, okay, well, they're building for the future because we don't want to be the Rams, one and done. Seattle, one and done. We don't want to be them. We want to keep winning. So
Wait, they said you're going to be the Rams. You're done. Don't get over yourself. You had your one time. You had your 15 minutes of fame. God.
I would be honestly shocked if they might get to the playoffs because you think about it, this season.
They'll get there.
Because think about it, it's going to be us winning the division. It's going to be between them and the Cardinals going to the playoffs. So it just depends what order they're falling.
You think the Cardinals? You think the Cardinals are going to make it? The Cardinals have some implosion going on there. And D-Hop getting suspended for 6 games is not going to help them any. It's going to be interesting to see I can't wait to see what the Cardinals look like. And then you got a quarterback.
You got to look at our situation, right? We got in the third spot in the playoffs. So it's either going to be us and the Rams in first place and them in third place. If they can get in, that doesn't matter. So as long as you get in, it's a whole different story. We can't.
How many games?
Third spot in the division.
How many games you going to have to win? Even as a wild card, how many games is it going to take you to get in the playoffs
10.
next year? Minimum 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we got in. We got to win 10. So the Cardinals can get in winning 10. I'm not still knocking them. Seattle's the only team that's not going to have a chance. It's going to be us.
There's a Hawks fan in and out talking major trash. God, Niners stink. Give me a break.
You know, they don't have no quarterback.
And they've never had any shame. I mean,
it's okay. They can keep talking. Hey, if you believe in something, you got to believe in believe in things. And shit, some of us believe when we were crap. Some people believe we were going to win the Super Bowl. I know we were horrible teams.
I confess.
You got to believe in something.
I didn't believe in the Super Bowl though. That's too much Raiderette. I thought we'd do well, but I didn't think nothing about no Super Bowl. I said everybody, because every network, the 49ers have absolutely no talent. 49ers be lucky if they win 0 games. What? Oh man, y'all go too far. And then I got on the offensive. I wasn't thinking. Defensive, should I say?
Well, hey, the worst we go down is we won 2 games, and that was after 2 other left teams. So other than that, we were winning at least 6 and better than her.
You know, and that year was the only team we beat.
We've only been the worst team in the NFL. Yeah. So that's a good thing. So,
So, we got a better organization now than we did back then. Trent Baalke was a cancer, and they're going to find out in where he is now, because at some point. So, we got a solid organization now. I think we're never going to look that kind of bad for a while.
If we do, it's just something Shanahan, the just been messed up, and destroy this whole team all apart.
But you know what?
At this point,
they're
yeah.
football guys, Emilio. They're not going to mess up to that level. They may mess up. We may have a 7-win season or 8, but they're not going to go down to 2s and 3s again. I don't think that's going to happen.
And if we ever have a 7-win, if we don't win 10 more games again with Shanahan and Lynch, something's wrong.
Yeah, well, no. And then
We
there's
should
that.
never go that low. We should never go that low.
Yeah. So, no, clown man. I'm not trying to fight with you. I thought, a lot of people think the word, when I said racism, everybody's always talking about racism. I wasn't doing that, is what I'm trying to tell you. So, anyway, I'm sorry.
What happened? What happened? I keep hearing you bring that up. What happened?
I actually called Jay. Oh, no, Bethel said something. He was like, he didn't like George Kittle. I said, I like George Kittle. And it came out wrong. I said, Bethel, that's racist. I mean, that's prejudice. I meant to say it was prejudice. When you don't like somebody before you get to know them, then you call them, it's prejudice, right? I mean, I don't even know anything about you. And I just look at you, man, I don't like you. That's what I was talking about.
I do that shit all the time.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're black, white, or green, or orange.
You're right.
I don't like you.
Amen.
I just don't like you.
I do too.
So, no, if you take that personal, that's your business.
Yeah. Or prove otherwise.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's, like I said, not on this team, but I haven't liked a few players, and they're on the team. But hey, like I said, if we go back to Gabbert, I didn't like Gabbert. So what does that mean? I'm a racist all of a sudden because I don't like the player? I guess.
The term is just really been tearing this country apart. Prejudice, though, is serious. And like you just said, prejudice, man, you could be prejudiced about a dude who just walks into the room for the first time. Look at this dude, man. I do not like him. What's up? Look at the shoes. This is what I call prejudice, Just go look at him and decide you don't like something about him.
I'll be like, well, he was wearing Adidas. I like Nike. Yeah. So I'm a racist.
For real, you got people like that. I know. So, anyway. But the roster is like, offensive line is my biggest concern. Defensive line is something I feel good about. I don't see how they can mess up. We got
a pretty good roster so far. It's just bunch of depth. So it just at this point is what it is. So we'll see what we have. Like I said, to me, I think we'll make it the playoffs with Trey. It's just up to him and the team how far we go. I said we can get in the playoffs. We can at least win 11 games this season or better.
If we win 11 games, that means there's no fall off and nothing but the sky ahead,
No, we can. If you really honestly look at the schedule, we can win 11 games. I don't see why we can't. But like I said, the playoffs are always different.
Yeah.
It depends how Trey really plays in the playoffs.
The schedule, Emilio, this schedule's not like last year or even the year before. This schedule is hell. Ooh, it's gonna be hell.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You got to think. If you look at the Dolphins, they have a new coach. So, the Raiders are somewhere up there. So no, it's not that bad. And you got to
AFC West.
Denver just got a Russell Wilson. So
no, Denver's got a team, Emilio. Denver, boy.
They don't have an offensive line.
Maybe we can get away with
that.
They
don't have an offensive line. So we might be able to kill Russell. So
they got Tom Compton over there trying to help him. We're out of time. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. All right.
Right.
All right, fam.
Have a good night.
I know it's your job. See you tomorrow, fam.
All right. Good night.
Night. And as you check Ellis out, Ellis. Ellis is like, we did that to my dad as a kid. He was asleep, and we tied his hands up and his feet because my dad used to go to sleep and like the dude used to go unconscious, right? And what got us in trouble is Kenny tried to put a gag in Pop's mouth, and that's when he woke up, and all hell broke loose. That man was scary. He's still here through the gag. And we booked. That made him more mad. Ellis, did the kids do you up? They got him tied up on the floor. Hey, Casey. I enjoyed my childhood, as you can see. Ronbo, you ain't grown up yet. I've graduated to some levels. Hey, Casey.
Ronbo, my man. How are you
Casey.
doing?
Casey, man, we're sitting back here looking at the state of this franchise and looking at some of the things that are going on as far as the player personnel goes. And I thought about you as I mentioned the Robbie Gould and also the long snapper and also Mitch Wisnowski. I said, these are the only three guys that can come into camp naked, fat, drunk, and say, hey, we're going to play ball. Anybody want a beer? You know, they can't get cut no matter what they do. But everybody else has got it. They got to battle for position. So, you know, what do you think is the most questionable, though?
As far as positions?
Yeah, because you look at the running back room. That's been picked on a number of occasions tonight. The offensive line.
Probably running back room.
Yeah.
I mean, just because there's always so much competition, all the players are so good nowadays.
Yeah.
But I mean, Elijah looks pretty solid. Like, like with Raheem, I was very worried about his pass block.
Yeah, Raheem didn't block it. You know, he ran the ball so good. People overlooked that. I didn't pay that any attention. Somebody pointed that out a while back. I said, yeah, you're right. Raheem was not famous for blocking.
There was just this one play in the Super Bowl where I think it was that pass to Kittle that showed up as a flag right before the half.
Yeah. Did Raheem whiff on that?
Where I think so, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. He was so quick at getting the ball. Nobody really cared. You know, I didn't really notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he was in the backfield, he'd get the ball anyway. Yeah.
But I haven't had that worry with Elijah. My hopes have been that Elijah, becomes a true number one.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I understand this guy Tyrion is tough too. The guy we just drafted. I think that's why the 49ers picked him up. He can run.
Yeah, but like what Ellis said, maybe it's Danny Gray this year. Maybe Danny Gray becomes, I mean, just the way Kyle's offense works.
Yeah. He's gonna have to put on some weight.
Kyle's offense is like it's built so that kind of reminds me of the Patriots, right? How anyone can take over spots and stuff like that,
Oh yeah, but having players that do
I'm
multiple
sure that's
jobs.
what he would want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we're kind of starting to see Kyle really have that ability now, especially with Trey, where they can do things like run heavy one week and then pass heavy the next week.
Kyle is going to always take advantage of whatever defensive. Kyle looks at your defense, and he knows what you're going to do before you. They look at film, right? And he designs his offense pertaining to the defensive skills and potency of the team that's coming up. And that's going to determine what they're going to do. He knows where the fish is on the other team. The man's observance is amazing. And Kyle comes in with an offensive plan. Really it should be effective, and normally it was. We didn't lose often. I mean, we got hurt, we lost. But when the 49ers are healthy, they kick your ass. Jimmy and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we got to do is make sure Kyle, watches the play this year, and because he'll continue to get better,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Kyle's growing in this as well, because Kyle's only been a head coach. What is his fifth year? Yeah. So, so he's learning to balance between head coaching and running the offense, which is what we wanted him to do. Something, Casey, I don't know if he was actually fully capable of that when he first came, but he kept a cool demeanor about him, so you couldn't really tell if Kyle was stressing or not. In 2019, we saw that I guess he can handle it. So,
yeah, that off season from the Super Bowl, man, he aged like 10 years, man. I really think
started.
Him and John Lynch, and I really think that last that week 18 game versus the Rams, where Kyle punted with the final minutes. Like, remember, I'm a poker player. There's some nights in poker you just got to take that. The saying is, when luck shuts the door, you got to come through the window. And Kyle just really put all the faith in the team, and that was one of the most beautiful moments in football I've ever seen.
Hey.
So, I mean, Kyle, he earned a lot of points with me last year.
Yeah.
I think as long as they continue to keep taking responsibility for things, and
And you got to figure they built that locker room unlike there may be other teams around the league that have that kind of camaraderie and love in the locker room.
Yeah,
but the 49ers are like famous for it now.
Yeah, and like the walkout songs with the boombox. Ronbo, I was a professional DJ for 12 years, man.
Is that right?
I'd kill to be that boombox guy, man. Yeah, man. I was a professional DJ from like 2005 to about 2014.
All right. What kind of house, hip hop? What were you playing?
Oh yeah, man. You know, mainstream, top 40. But you know, I mean, I'm from the Bay Area, so I listen to underground hip hop. You know. So.
Well, they tell you what, the 49ers, like, what they're doing now is they're maturing. That's why I said when you talk about football guys, and now they're learning this end of the job even more so and in depth. You got to make decisions out there all the time. They better be good because otherwise your job depends on it. I think they've come around to a point where I trust them. But John Lynch is becoming a good con man. When John comes out there and talks, I'm not sure anymore.
Well, then over the last, 2 days, their secondary is just, it seems like their secondary set now, right? Now that they've got Brett back and, you know, they still got Ambry Thomas and, I mean, they're going to get better as the season goes on. We kept a couple
new guys, too.
By the end of next season, they're going to look really good, I think.
I think they're going to do good right from the beginning, you know, because what if Jason Verrett can play? Oh, my
man, he's
goodness.
like a faster Sherman to me, Ronbo. When he's healthy, man, he's like a faster Sherman, if you ask me.
I know, right? You got Chardavius.
They get Drake.
And you got Jason. And now who's going to play the slot?
It'd be good, man.
I don't know, but my, you got those edges covered.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope Fred Warner, you know, continues to take strides too, because you know there hasn't been too many there haven't been too many highlight reel plays from Fred at least from me from what
not last year.
I don't know. I could be
the year
wrong.
Before.
Yeah. Yeah. They put him in coverage a lot. He got beaten coverage last year.
Well, that's because they trust Fred in coverage. You know, actually they should have had Kowalski should have been more in coverage because Kowalski's got
Kowalski still on the team?
I know, but I mean last year. I don't think they're gonna re-sign him. No, he's not. They haven't signed him. Oh, I don't think they're going to.
Not my boy Kowalski, Ronbo. This could be the redemption here. You know, this is a good opportunity for Kowalski to redeem himself here.
Yeah. It would have been, because he definitely needs some time to redeem himself. Poor guy.
Oh,
I mean, to go out like that is really.
Kowalski, Ronbo.
No. Kyle, you got to let him give him a shot. Kyle, he can't go out like that. And for the rest of his life, all he's got to do is remember, I may have given away the NFC Championship game, and they wouldn't let me come back to next year.
No, honestly, that doesn't bother me. That happens. What bothers me is the Jimmy Ward hit to Odell because that was so just it was so unnecessary.
But that's the thing, Casey. If Kowalski makes that play doesn't happen. We have the ball.
No, I think that was after. I'm pretty sure that was after. Are you sure?
It was immediately after. They got the ball back, and then they went and did what they did. God, it was a domino and effective disaster. Okay, production's trying to cut us off.
Wasn't the Kowalski? Yeah, the Kowalski.
Kowalski dropped the ball, and they gave him new life, and they kept going on us. But in case I'm gonna go back and look at you. I could be wrong.
Ronbo, I gotta get to my over-the-counter medications. Ronbo, you're taking away from my medication.
You sound congested.
My medication hour.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right on, man. Adios.
Night. Adios. Eric.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Eric, come on in, man. We're doing before the 49ers do their own state of the franchise. We're doing our state of the franchise right now, looking at the talents we got on this team and making predictions. We got a lot of guys that are not going to make the team. We got 90 guys on the squad now. Probably most of the UDFAs. We didn't pick up that many UDFAs this year. What, we got 13 or 14? I said, no, that's a lot, actually.
I think we got 14, yeah.
Yeah. Eric, where's the trouble room? If you're going to troubleshoot through this roster, where are you going first? Where some adjustments need to be made? What are you thinking?
I got to say the running back room is it's pretty big. I don't know who's going to come out of it, but I really want to see The new guy we just got. I didn't really like how they went running back so high, to be honest, in my personal opinion. Honestly, I think they could have went safety there. And I think addressed the, position with, I think, a better talent at that round. Although I do like the pick. The player, he's really good. I just didn't think the value was all there, but I know the other day, I was talking, I came onto your show before the draft, saying I wanted Christian Watson. Big Show came in immediately, shot me down with Christian Watson as our first round pick.
Well, Big Show, he does not like Christian Watson, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the reasons I say that I wanted Christian Watson, and again, it was late in the first. I did not want Christian Watson at 10 or anything like that. It was more like a 32nd pick. I think Christian Watson went, I think, like 34th. One of the reasons I say that I wanted Christian Watson because I wanted
go
him
in the second. That's
not
right.
to go to. I didn't want him going to Green Bay or Kansas City, which I thought was going to be the pick, and that's exactly who took him. And I think he's going to work really, really well with Aaron Rodgers. That's one of the big things. But I really like the receiver the Niners got. They finally got their speed guy.
Yeah.
I believe he was 4.3. I believe
4.33. Yeah. He
I
understand he's a little heavier
he's
now.
I think it's gonna be a perfect down the field threat. It's gonna take the safety along with the with the coverages and things like that. I think Lance is gonna be able to throw down the field more, and it's honestly it's gonna help everyone. Devo, Ayuk, Kittle.
You gotta stretch that
to the running back. It's gonna
a legitimate threat. Exactly.
If in all seriousness, if he's going to take, the safety in the corner along with him, and you're going to tell me that Elijah Mitchell's, running in a flat, and he has open field, and he does a one-on-one with the linebacker, that's too easy, I think, for Elijah Mitchell, and there's no safety nearby.
One-on-one, and one-on-one now with Debo, Ayuk, you just, people got to back the hell up now. Yeah, it makes a lot of a difference. A lot of difference.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I've been hearing, a lot of people are still on the Jimmy thing.
That's going to be the case until he leaves.
Yeah, and honestly, Ronbo, I think he should leave at least by training camp. This is how I think of it. I think if there's going to be a competition, I think the Niners, if Lance wins that competition, you should cut Jimmy G, like immediately. Do not have him as a backup. Leave him there. Send him on his way. And
that might be the plan. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, and I think if Garoppolo wins the competition, then I think that says that Lance isn't ready now. Now here, before everyone starts tripping out, I think if Garoppolo is to win this battle in the training camp, it better not be because of reasons off the field. Like I don't want it to be because Jimmy G has a $27 million cap hit. That's why he's going to start. That's not the reason I want Jimmy G starting.
Either you cannot play him or not. Right, I agree. They still want something back for Jimmy too. This is I don't know if that's Jed York talking or what, but they still don't want him just walking out and go get his own job on his own, and we don't get nothing. But we only gave him a second round pick for him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and that pick was years ago. I mean, at this point, honestly, we've been to two championship games and a Super Bowl. I mean, in all seriousness, you got what you paid for with Jimmy G.
Exactly. You became instantly relevant. You were you were talked about in NFL for the last 3 years, and you got your return. Now don't stunt Trey's growth. I do agree with that.
Yeah, he completely came in and he changed the culture. So I'm not going to sit here and bash Jimmy G. So I think again, if Lance wins the battle, Jimmy should be cut. But I don't even think he should be on the roster. Week 1.
Because now you got the jockeying back and forth. If Trey struggles, then fans, as you know we do, we like to flip back and forth. If Trey should get out there and go 0-3, oh my God. The noise is going to be loud. There's no patience in Red and Goldville.
Yeah, And that is the sucky thing, because I understand that Lance is a rookie. In all seriousness, it's going to be his first, time starting, first full time as a starter.
Yep.
So I'm not going to. I've said it before. I'm not going to assume this team is going to be in the Super Bowl or even make the playoffs. But before Niner by Nature starts killing me in the chat, I do think the Niners could win 9-10 games with Lance. I'm not going to go out there and assume that the Niners are going to be back in the NFC Championship game. Barring this Debo thing, what's happened with him.
I didn't even say that when we had the other team. I mean, the thing is, also, the worst part about this, though, too, is like if there's any doubt, and Jimmy's loved by all his teammates, right? If there's any doubt as to Trey's leadership, there is where the problem might be. If Jimmy's around and it looks like the team is not following Trey, because you already got Debo sounding strange. You know how George feels about Jimmy. You know how Juice feels about Jimmy. These were his biggest soldiers in the offseason. You don't want that little bit of doubt to fall into that locker room about, if we lose another game, we can forget about the playoffs. Coach, isn't it time for Jimmy to come back in? Trey learns about. Then you got that madness going, and then you screw things up. So actually, Jimmy being on the team is really going to be a problem if he's not playing as a starter.
Yeah, exactly, and that's along with the Debo situation. If Debo does stay, how is the locker room going to react if he doesn't even want to be here? So there's already that awkwardness in the locker room.
But be careful with that, because I'm not. Are you sure Debo doesn't want to hear? And as a locker room, because they probably having a different conversation with Debo. You know what I mean? They don't mind him going after his money. But if he comes in still moaning and groaning, I hope that's not true. But it might be.
Yeah, and I understand it's completely business, and obviously, it should be. So I don't think there should be any awkwardness. I'm just saying though, if Debo does continue this, how is the locker room going to react to to this type of player within their locker room? I understand that the other day when he was talking about the messages he was receiving, he did call out. He sounded like he called out the entire faithful. He didn't really give a specific that it was just a certain amount of fans that were giving him these messages. And he kind of just called everybody out on it. And I don't know. To me, it did feel like a shot towards the entire faithful. And I didn't really understand that.
Hey, Eric, it may not even be, the Hawks and Rams, they're capable of anything. I'm blaming them. Proposing. Burner accounts and everything else. He shouldn't even have his DMs open. Anyway, Eric, we're out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for getting in here. I haven't talked to you a couple of days.
I'll catch you later.
Looking forward to it. Night, fam.
Yep, I'll be back.
All right.
Later.
And there he is. Hey, yo, fly guy.
Ronbo.
Fly guy, we have been looking around this team and looking at some of the positions and some of the players involved. If I had to say right now at this point in the program, the running back room seems to be the one that's getting the most attention, except Jay, who says the defensive line is bad news. Jay, I'm never going to let this up. I'm going to talk about you in that statement for the rest of the boy. Fly guys, anything wrong with the defensive line?
Yeah.
There is.
Let me start with man, Ronbo, you are OG. You made some great content. I love your show.
Thanks.
Start off. You know what that is?
Yes, I heard it. Thanks. I know you. Okay, go ahead. Go to the next one. Go to the next point of this point.
I said, you know who that is? That's Sawed Off. What is his name? Shut off.
Oh, I just realized. You said it. Who is that? That's Chardall.
I love when he talks.
Hey, wow. I missed him. He didn't come in the other day, did he? Hey, he missed the other day.
Ron was like, shut off. So like, we signed Kristen Rice, and we were like, shut off. Is your foot on his fist? But he's like, oh my God. I like to listen to him. Like,
I know, shut off. He was. I don't know. You know what? He does that every now and then, but that was one of his biggest episodes. He wanted Christian Watson. He was grateful that Christian Watson went to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
So I got a little confused.
That's what yeah. Oh.
He felt good about Christian going to the Packers because Green Bay's got a great quarterback. Shut up! Hey! To wake him up! That's not our team!
Yeah.
Or use the word we. That's why I got confused. Oh.
I was laughing like, wow. But I like to listen to him.
No, I do too. He's a lovable guy.
Yeah. But let me say, I'm looking forward to the season. We have a great team. It's a little scary going to the season if we don't have Jimmy G, because Jimmy G is not getting enough credit here, because he don't put a lot of points on the board, but he always find a way to get a drive to win in the fourth quarter. Either it's a field goal or a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So his winning percentage is very high. So now we're going in a season without Jimmy G. What are we going to look like? This is the question. What are we going to look like? Are we going to go back to the dog days?
Now you got me calling you shut off. Fly Guy, you know what's so funny? Because my thoughts are similar to yours. I feel uncomfortable because no matter what anything says about that guy, we still come up. We lost a couple of games last year that we shouldn't have lost. 49ers should have won about 12 games at minimum, right? So if we can win that many games and still get in the playoffs and go all the way through the playoffs, damn everything else. Apparently the team works with this guy. So, this is my only thing. We're fixing something that I don't know if it's broke or not. So I'm thinking I'm going to be a little worried here. And after a few weeks, hopefully we don't need to worry anymore. So we'll see.
That's why I'm saying, like, we don't give Jimmy G enough credit, but he does do those fourth quarter drive where we go and get a touchdown and win the game, or a field goal there and win the game.
Well, the offense works kind of well with him is what it is. I mean, they may make a mistake here and there, but they still manage to run a decent offense. The long drives where the other team is sitting down for an hour, that's good football.
So my question is, what are we going to look like? What is the face of the team? Like, what are we going to look like next year? Is we going to go back to the dog days without Jimmy G?
No. We're going to have to establish a new identity, Fly Guy. We're going to be a different team. I don't know what kind of different, but we're going to be still winning, I guess. Hope.
I mean, we all want to win, but we just don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's scary. We don't know what's going to happen, because when you remove something, you don't know what's going to happen. We move a quarterback that's used to winning. When Jimmy G healthy, we make the playoff and go far. When he's not on the field, we don't even make to the playoff.
Yeah.
We don't even go to the playoff. Whether it's Nick Mullen or whoever come in, veteran, whatever, we try from the quarterback.
Okay, but this is the thing. So it's like, Nick Mullins and CJ are gone. We got a third, number 3 pick in the overall third, the top first round pick, and is a lot better football player. So we're going on that, but we're going into an uncharted territory. We've seen Trey a little bit, and that's why people get on me. But why you got any faith in it? Because I just haven't seen enough. I just want to see some more. I didn't say it was bad. I just want to see more. Yeah. And people hate that.
Yeah, well, I said we don't know what's going to happen. I'm a little bit nervous. I think we can even go higher than Jimmy G, or lower. We don't know what's going to happen. It can be better or not better. So I think we got a good team. So we just got to see.
We got to get in the playoffs. What we could be grateful for is with Jimmy, they went to the playoffs when he was healthy. I mean, all the way to the Super Bowl, and then a step away from the Super Bowl. So if Trey, I'm going to give him if he gets all the way to the playoffs, I'm going to say, yes, win. Okay, first year. All right, not bad. We're in.
Yeah, success.
He's going to get better. That's what I'm hoping for.
Success. But we do have veteran, like, my favorite player in the 49ers team right now is George Kittle, because he's showing the people's
tight end. Yeah.
Yeah, the sportsman team, whatever they call it, that every new player, he always contact them, like, welcome to the Niners. Like, let's go, dude. Like, we're going to do it. Like, he motivates the players. He's not like, he feel like, he like Jerry Rice to me. Where after he's retired, he's going to come back to the stadium as a Niner. Like,
we got to have Debo, though, Fly Guy. Listen, you know what? I tell you, Debo's worrying me. I try not to think about it because it gives me anxiety. Debo, we need Debo bad because I don't. If nothing else works, all he's got to do is just get the ball to Debo. Just get the ball to Debo. Whatever you do, just get the ball to Debo. He'll get it done. He is that kind of a player, But if he has
it's a little bit I have a little bit more hope.
I know
today.
I know how you feel about Debo. Yeah, go ahead though.
I had a little bit more hope today because he shared on his story that he shared the Jason Verrett got signed. He like, yeah, congratulations, my brother, on his story. So I'm like, okay, at least he's keeping up with the team. So I'm like, okay, maybe we got a chance here.
Yeah, he hit like. Right. Somebody said, you talk about that one thing he did hit like on was somebody said, yeah, Debo in the end will end up with the 49ers. He had like. He was on there. He doesn't want to leave.
But no, on his story, he shared Jason Verrett got signed.
Yeah, he's still in with the team. He just wants money.
Yeah.
I wish he'd just be a little more tactful about it, you know? Just
okay. He like congratulations, my brother. Like on the signing, whatever. He shared it on his story. I don't know if anybody seen it. I seen it today with my own eyes. I'm like, whoa.
Listen, Fly Guy, he still likes his team, and his team still likes him. It's all about the payday. After he gets it, everything will be fine. He's got to hurry up and get it there.
Yeah, like you said today, I was like, okay, I got a little bit of hope. Maybe I'm like. This is how I think. I'm not going against Debo, but I don't like a player that don't like my team. Like, you don't want to play for my team. And I don't hate you. It's the love is not there no more. It's like you're not a part of us no more.
Like he told. I saw a tweet where he says, "And I love that Fly Guy." I saw a tweet where he said he loved that Fly Guy. So he loves the whole entire Empire. We gotta go. Fly Guy, I'm gonna be back tomorrow looking for you, okay?
And one last thing.
Go ahead.
For everybody that's listening, the way I discovered Ronbo show was like the phone went, like I Googled one show and then the phone went to the next show, and I was like, what? Everybody keep calling. Like the show went on and on and on and on. I'm like, this is very like entertainment, like. So, Ronbo, you got the best show out here, man. Congratulations, man.
It's the people that call in here, Fly Guy, like you, to be honest, and your boy Chardon, and you got people from other teams like Don Burr, Detroit against the world. You know, we get some characters in here.
Most content on YouTube is 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Ronbo show goes for hours, so you can just let the phone and just do your work. And I was working and like listen to everybody calling in.
Thanks,
Great
Fly Guy.
show, man.
It's just too much fun. All right, fam. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Yeah.
All right, fam. Night, Fly Guy. Yeah. Hey, let's see if Ellis has been untied by the kids. Ellis? Ellis!
Well, I'm busy.
Ellis, because I know you be hanging out with the kids, man. I think about how me and my brothers and sisters used to like do a number on Dad, but he'd make the mistake of passing out on the sofa on Saturday afternoon. First thing we did was go quietly take all the change out of his pockets. and then he would turn over, and then we'd proceed to do bizarre things like tie him up and stuff like that. The man wouldn't wake up. So, you know, I said, Ellis might have got done up like we used to do my dad, man. I love them days.
Good damn sleep.
The dude would go into a coma. Dad didn't go into sleep. He'd go into a coma. But we'd do a number on him. And my mom would be back there laughing about it. So, you know, we were encouraged. He didn't think it was funny.
He had homemade sedatives already in his blood. He didn't take nothing. That melatonin was on 1,000. That natural melatonin.
But he got even though, because he'd be laying there asleep. Daddy? I remember Keith used to freak out on that one. Ellis, look, don't get me started. Hey, Ellis, man, we're talking about the state of the franchise, fam. We're looking at some positions around this right now. We're looking at people that have been added, the people that are already in it. Ellis, where are the weak spots? Did you troubleshoot yet? Have you looked at everything?
I mean, I keep hearing about the offensive line. Are we looking at bad? Why do people keep talking about the offensive line looking? Is it because I mean, we only lost Lake and Tomlinson.
No, Alex Mack is hedging, and Nobody knows what he's going to do. You know how important center is on this team, and you got Mike McGlinchey on the other side. But it's, I figure Mike's healthy. Is he going to be okay? The right guard spot is questionable because you just lost Tom Compton. You got newbies that are going in there. I think we go through this every year, Ellis, with the offensive line, though. No matter what we're doing.
Yeah. Tom is replaceable.
Yeah.
Lakin is a hard. Definitely a hard guy to try to even replace or come close to. But
is Aaron Banks going to be enough over there? See, that's the thing too.
Yeah. Well, I think because of the new, rotational guys and guys that are going to be having to step in, I think that could maybe put a little damper on the confidence when it comes to what the offensive line is going to be looking like in certain areas. But, I feel confident because of the guys that we picked up. And, Brunskill plays good at certain positions on the line, even though he's played all three positions on the line, which is really good. He's a versatile guy, but he's not good in all of those positions. He's better at one than, two of the others. I think he's better at a tackle, than the guard and center.
Right.
Isn't that what we pretty much agreed to?
Yeah,
but he does
picked
really
up,
well.
They picked up a couple of guard centers too, and Poe and the guy from Arizona. It's interesting that they did that. They want versatility at that spot.
Yeah.
If we lose a center, we're not dead meat from here on. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I don't really feel like we have any spots in particular that are looking shaky right now, because if we try to base it just on what we have without seeing any of the rookies, then there's a couple of positions that we could say, that might be a little bit questionable just because we haven't seen what these new additions are going to actually, amount to as of right now. You know what I mean? But I feel like
the running back room is got people. That we went for another running back this year, third round.
Second round.
And last year we got with Trey Sermon. Did we get Trey in the third round as well? So here we go again. And what was wrong? Why would you do that, Kyle? You got a problem with Trey? See, this is why, and when people are saying he'll be fine, I think that Kyle has thrown his hands up in the air, but you can't you got to give him a chance to prove that he's ready to go. And this is the year. And then we got Trevion. I don't think he can beat that guy out, Ellis. I really don't, if that's what they're doing.
Who?
Trevion Davis, the guy that just
okay.
The running back, yeah. Why'd you get him in the third round? That's awfully early.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was a little. Well, he was like the bottom. He's like at the bottom in certain areas. That's why I didn't understand why, out of all the guys that were still available, why they picked him. But I suppose that because of his size and his ability to kind of stay on his feet, he's not like round like a bowling ball, but he's more like, he's a guy that can bounce off of contact and, can kind of keep his motor going and stuff like that. We need kind of like a bruiser back. We need one of those kind of guys that can take some shots, in the A and B gaps and, be able to hit them and kind of keep, moving and falling forward, to drag some people and stuff like that. We need a back to tire out guys like that. And then, so that we can, bring Elijah Mitchell, we can bring in, if he decides to,
so he might be a little more of a workhorse type of runner, right? You don't want to bring out, you don't want to make Elijah your workhorse. He's not built for that. But this guy,
no,
probably,
no, he's not.
And Trey was supposed to be.
Yeah, and Trey's, man, I seen the video of Trey when he was moving, doing some drills, and he looked like he's ready to go, So I'm not going to give up on him just yet. I was supposed that by us getting that running back, it was of necessity because we got to have that. You always talk about it. As we all know, we run through a lot of our running backs throughout the season. So we need to have those extra guys to come in, so we're not trying
to
sign a bunch of guys off other people's practice squads throughout the damn season just to keep some backs. We can't do that shit again. You know what I mean? So I think Kyle was just trying to be proactive when it came to that. But, I wasn't – we didn't need to take him at that time. I don't think
See,
I think
that's
he
why
would have been on the draft board in the
that's
fifth
why I say
round.
there was an urgency in that pick, and I'm concerned as to what it was. You know, and Trey Sermon is actually supposed to be fighting with Jermichael Hasty for the potential to be removed from this roster. And I said, really? Because Jermichael was ahead of him on the depth chart last year. Did you know that? I saw that one day. I didn't take it seriously. I thought maybe they just put it up there because they didn't have any place else to put it. You know, we'll see what Trey looks like because he was better than that at Ohio State. Bring Ohio State Trey back.
Yeah. From what I heard, he had some really huge holes and gaps over there at Ohio, so that's what made it easier for him to do what he was doing. Or Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Or he played Ohio and Oklahoma. Is that,
it was Ohio.
Oh no, that's right. I don't know what. Okay, well it's kind of crazy because who's gonna be on the active roster and who's gonna be on the practice squad? It'll probably be the young guy from LSU starting out, you know, just in the beginning portion of the season, and then the depth chart I'm sure will change as things kind of go on. Hopefully Trey Sermon doesn't get beat out because I think Jermichael Hasty's going to have a leg up in the rotation over Trey Sermon initially, you know what I'm saying? But that could always change if Trey Sermon's actually looking really good, and that may be more of a grudge. But a match to compete. But Trey, Jermichael Hasty gets on a practice squad, he's getting signed.
I'll tell you,
somebody's gonna kick his ass.
Because Hasty, I'll tell you. Well, fam, you know we gonna go, and before everybody wakes up at 2:00 in the morning, man, I'm still on the phone. So, fam, Alice, I'll see you tomorrow. You know this. All right.
Yeah, yes, sir. Appreciate you, family. Thank you for the platform as always.
Thanks.
Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, man. Y'all know where you at. Wipe your feet. Shout out to the Niner faithful. You know what I'm saying? All the good guys and gals out there, man. Peace and love.
And shout out to that wonderful squad. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
Appreciate it.
Good night. Thanks,
right.
Ellis.
Yes, sir.
Rome. Come on in, Rome.
Hey, Ronbo, how are you, man?
Rome, man, we're just sitting here contemplating the future. We don't see anybody on the field. Rookies start camp next week, and now the contemplation starts, now that the dust is settled as to who's going to be out there trying to become a 49er, and we're looking at the rooms that we feel strong about so we can pound the chest and tell the Rams we're coming to bury you. See, the defensive line is something I really enjoy. If anything I can hang my hat on is that D-line. Don't let Javon Kinlaw look like he was supposed to look. I mean, Rome, let me stop, Rome. Which rooms are you looking at you feel satisfied with? Some rooms you'd like to remove some people. Some rooms you got predictions on. What are you thinking?
I don't get into all of that so much, but I will say this. The Niners have a MO as to how they draft. It's become very evident since 2017. Well, 2017 was out here because they were just trying to rebuild the talent because of bulky. Don't want to get into that. But
they had no choice. I know, right.
Niners' strength is our D-line, first and foremost. And when the D-line is nasty, the Niners are hard to beat.
Yes.
So I think Drake Jackson is going to be a terror. The reason why I say that is he had a lot of fluctuation while he was at USC. The staff came and went. People were fired. Yes, it was a shit show there. And they had him gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. But if you look at when he was down in weight and he was lining up just as an edge rusher, that boy was killing him as a freshman. I mean, he was, yes. And I think the Niners will get him, and with Chris Kasarik, will get him to the point where he's just going to be a monster. We won't even remember. I can't remember his name.
You already forgot D4, didn't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah, please. 2 seasons ago. Two seasons ago, I forgot about D4.
I like it. Your timing on that was hilarious.
I was pissed that we couldn't get rid of him because of the money to be
and they kept restructuring and playing with the math on his contract. I said, Kyle, stop lying, John. He's not going to be able to play this year. He has a back injury.
Yes, come on. When your back goes in the NFL, you're done. You're done.
Completely.
A lot of people are hating on the pick of Davis Price. I like it. I was watching some of his games. I don't mean just clips. I've been watching games, going to YouTube and trying to find games.
Yeah.
That boy's hard to bring down, and he's quick.
Uh-oh.
And he likes to hit that hole, and he's got really good vision.
Yeah,
so
I noticed
I'm
that.
thinking, okay,
no dancing in
he's
the
got
hole.
good vision. No.
And that's what Kyle wants in that zone.
You know how
Put your
Kyle
foot
is,
down,
and
go.
I'm pretty sure, even though Bobby Turner is not going to be with us this year, simply because he has some sort of medical thing that they're keeping quiet, and he will be back after it's over. I'm pretty sure Bobby Turner has something to do with, like, hey, this is the guy. And if Bobby Turner likes him, and if Kyle likes him, and furthermore, I heard in the interview that the price pick was a Mike Shanahan pick.
Ooh,
and you know Mike knows
Pops got involved, huh?
I heard that in an interview. Price even says so himself. He said one of the main things that sold him, and he was glad, was because of Mike Shanahan.
I thought it might have been Anthony Lynn. You cleared that up.
Yeah. But that's all I've been doing since the draft. I mean, you know, because you know where I live, so it's been like hell trying to do the draft.
Get info. Yeah. You know, that's you know something. That Mike, I didn't know Mike Shanahan, because I always look at Mike Shanahan as that guy that's quietly running things to some degree, the silent partner, right?
He
that we
talks
don't know
to his
about.
dad before the games. Yeah, he talks to his dad. Come on, why wouldn't you? That's like having a cheat code.
Yeah. Kyle already said that him and his dad talk football nonstop. So you know they're talking about what's going on.
One of the biggest mistakes, Ronbo, the Niners ever made was hiring Mariucci 1 year at Cal over Mike Shanahan. We could probably have 8 trophies right now. Easily.
When you go
we
back
had
in
4.
history, I know.
Mike had 2 at the Broncos. There's 6 right there. And we don't blow one of those games where we're in with the Ravens or the last Super Bowl. Come on.
Both
I
blown.
like Mooch.
Should have been
wasn't
won.
aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike Shanahan was aggressive. I just listened to what was it? An interview today with Steve Young. And Steve Young said in this interview, I found it on PFN, which is Pro Football Network. I subscribe to them. And he said that Shanahan told him, "You're throwing 8 TDs today." And Steve was like, "Yeah, that's motivation." And he was serious. He said that at halftime, Mike Shanahan came over to Steve Young and said, "You got 4? We're going to get 4 more." Only reason Steve Young threw 6 instead of 8 was because, come on, I can't even think of his name right now. Seifert felt
coach.
sorry,
Yeah.
Denver, and took the brakes off. We had 12 minutes to play, and they yanked Steve Young out of the game and took the brakes off.
See.
Steve Young says in this interview that Mike Shanahan went bananas, started hollering at Steve Young, "You go tell Steve to put your ass back in the game right now and get me those other 2 TDs." True story. True story. Steve Young said Mike Shanahan was so freaking aggressive, and that's what I hated about Mooch. Mooch was a good coach, but he wasn't aggressive. He was not aggressive.
When it comes to X's and O's, Mooch will just educate the masses. But you're right. He didn't have that dog in him as a coach.
Yeah. And it hurt the Niners. That and getting rid of Charles Haley. But anyway, getting back to the draft, we got a lot of O-line help. We've got a lot of D-line help. I like the running back. Danny Gray, they say his hands are suspect. But everything I've seen so far, I don't know. It's hard to say. Debo had the most drops. Debo was tied for the most drops in the NFL last year. I think he was tied for 4th. They say he had 12. I could only find stats for 7. So maybe he had 5 in the postseason. But he was tied for 4th with the most drops.
I know. I didn't even realize that until people started pointing it out, like you're saying, too. Yeah. Because he was so dynamic on the catches he made.
The ball behind. You know, Jimmy has a tendency to throw the ball behind receivers sometimes, but you know,
timing. In Shannon's offense, timing is everything. You know, between the quarterback and his receiver. This is something that we're going to see tested a little bit this year for a while, I suspect, because Kyle's precision timing routes. both players got to be on cue, on target, and be where they're supposed to be at the time they're supposed to be. This is why a lot of people didn't even know, and you probably did, bro. Some of them INTs, that's not the way that was supposed to come out. Garoppolo put the ball where it was supposed to be on some of them. The receiver either didn't make it through the route or something went wrong other than what it looked to be. And I said, a lot of people think Garoppolo threw that ball right to that linebacker. Then Jawan Jennings was one that even the booth people pointed out one time. Jawan Jennings didn't fight through that block. Garoppolo threw that ball, and fortunately it wasn't picked off. I says, this happens way too often. Kyle, if you don't have a receiver that can do that, then don't call a damn play. I said, So
I also watched a couple of games. I found a couple of Iowa State games. I like this Brock Purdy guy. I'm not saying that he's going to be the future. He was Mr. Irrelevant, but don't be surprised if he becomes the third string quarterback and they get rid of I can't even think of his name right now because
Jimmy?
I don't like him.
Yeah.
No, not Jimmy.
Sudfeld?
Jimmy's gone. As soon as Jimmy can Jimmy can throw, out of here.
Yeah.
As soon as Jimmy
he needs to go to his own team now. This is something that's going to have to change.
So I think it would be what, Lance
and Sudfeld and Purdy. That's all you got right now. Yeah. Bro, we got to go.
Brock Purdy. Yep. All right.
All right, fam.
Anyway,
Always appreciate you getting in here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, fam.
Thank you very much. You take care. You in
You
production.
too. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Mr. Blockeye says, when it comes to my running backs, I think equals Debo. I think Price. There's a typo I think here. I think my Cuz was picked because it's to add more depth, so Debo won't be running out of the back a lot. Yeah, they're trying to, Mr. Blockeye. I think the message is clear. And which is kind of crazy because now you've actually handcuffed your coach. Because Debo's going to look at him, Coach, just come on, let me have the ball. No, remember, you said, Coach, I was just trying to get paid. Coach, give me the ball. See, Debo, this will be his fault too. Tony. Atlanta. Tony. All right. Tony sometimes gets caught in other rooms. Let's check out who you got here. And who is that? Hey, Bill. Who is that? Yeah, Bill. You probably got. I know you probably heard. Who is that likes to give you a hard time? You guys have been going back and forth now for a little while. It may take a couple of days, but you always go back. Bill, who is that likes
I didn't pay attention to that rate below, dude. I ain't really let him get in my head like that. I've been chilling, All comes out of his mouth is smoke. Nothing makes sense. He knows his team got lucky. It ain't going to happen again. He's talking about a dynasty.
It's Rudy and Marketing Pro. Yeah, they're the ones, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those three, the Three Stooges. I used to watch Three Stooges growing up. I don't know which one of those three is. Give them their names, Let the Niner Empire decide to give those Three Stooges their names.
Hey, I forgot. Ready to Go. You got three. You do have three. I didn't see Ready to Go, and I always see him because he's extremely annoying.
No, it's not ready to go. It's ready to blow. He blows smoke out of his mouth. Nothing makes sense that comes out of his mouth.
Well, Bill,
so I'm not going to let him get under my skin.
All right, well, later for those guys, Bill. Bill, our roster, right? We've got guys up and down the roster right now. Now that we got all these people, we got 90 guys running around the place. There's some guys, you think anybody's going to lose their job this year? And what position group would that be? Who are you leaning toward? Who's one of your favorite guys? All that stuff. Bill, have you been studying the roster? What are you thinking?
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Jeff Wilson, Mike favorite to go. Yeah.
Your favorite to go?
I mean, we got. Yeah, Jeff Wilson might be out. I haven't really looked at all the wide receiver depth. There'll be some people cut that we won't be surprised. We're keeping Debo. Get over it. He's not going to become a Ram. I know Ready to Blow was probably excited when he heard about that. Dude, it's fake news. It ain't happening. And we're keeping Brandon Ayuk. We're going to have a really good season. I don't think Jimmy's going, but I do think he will end up starting and becoming the same Jimmy we had in 2017 when he came out and lit the field up. I think he's going to come out and really show the haters what's up because he's going to want to go to a good team. And I have a feeling because he'll want to go to a good team if he ends up starting, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And I'm calling it. I really do. I think we got a lot of depth and everything. I'm not even worried. Why are you worried about Debo, my guy?
Well, I'm not. As I've said, people are misunderstanding the situation for what it is. Debo just wants to get his money. He's acting a little immature about it. But that's all he wants. He still loves being a 49er. He still loves his teammates. They love him. People are starting to write narratives that they have no idea what they're talking about. I think Debo ends up, and he did hit like today. Somebody said Debo at the end of the day ends up with the San Francisco 49ers. Why did Debo hit like? People are misunderstanding the situation. Bill, if we had a season like Debo, and my time has come, I'm looking at everybody around me with my same job description, getting paid mad money. I wouldn't get that nervous. Debo is way out of control, but I'd want to get mine. So I can't get mad at him about that.
I think he's trolling the other fans, and he's not trying to cause harm to the Niners, but he wants to mess with all. I think he's trying to fire back at all the other fans that have talk smack on him. I think he probably knows it was a Ram account.
I bet it was. Or Hawks.
Yeah. The Hawks, I don't see the Hawks doing that because they have nothing to fire back with. Who they got on a team that can actually do something?
That's why, Bill, they're bitter. The Hawks know they're going to bite the dust this year. They did pick up they picked up a couple of draft picks. I was impressed with that. But basically, they've disassembled. They're rebuilding. They're starting over. They're going to get beat.
Bro, we're not going to see the Hawks do anything for probably another 5 to 6 seasons, dude.
I know. That's what it takes to get over a quarterback.
And by then, Pete might leave, so guess what?
Yeah.
They're going to rebuild again. So add another 6 years on top of that.
You can't, they become the Lions? Bill, did you say they were going to become like Detroit? Michigan, Motor City. I mean, I'm saying the Hawks because you say the Hawks they're gonna find out the rebuild's not working, and then they have to start all over again in 5 years. That happens actually, to a lot of teams.
Well, Pete will have to retire. That'll be the thing. He'll retire and just give up football, and then what'll happen is he's like almost 80 years old.
I was gonna say Pete's retiring anyway. Yeah, he's.
Yeah,
I give Pete another 2 seasons max, especially if they're getting their brains beat out. Because the ownership's going to blame Pete. You got to blame somebody.
Yeah, and then they get a stupid coach to be going through what we went through with the Pringles guy, and going through with like Chip Kelly and stuff. So they'd be hiring coach after coach after coach, rebuild after rebuild. I'm not even worried about the Seahawks. The one team that I actually am going to be worried about is Arizona.
Are you? I think Klein is not a good GM, and of course, the coach. His program had to have Kyler Murray. Now, if that doesn't work, there is no plan B. He can't draft another quarterback. He can't bring in another quarterback. Although, when they did bring in, the backup, I mean, we still should have won that game. If Kittle and Ayuk make those pass catches, I think that game leans in our direction. But as it was, still, we couldn't stop that backup quarterback, which I still can't believe. What was that guy's name? God.
We're going to forget about that season. Ronbo.
No.
You're gonna be
God.
wanting to buy a championship hat. Trust me, because I know Jimmy's gonna want to go to a good team. If we don't trade him, and he does start, he will come out fire, and people be like, all the Niner fans will be like, "Where was this Jimmy the whole time?" Well, when you ACL, just, you know, when you have an ACL, it's not always easy to get over. People don't understand that, you know. Your leg, when your leg can body, it can actually mess up your throwing. You know, it can do all that. So I understand. So, you know, I'll put it like this: I'm excited, I'm faithful, and ready to blow, can blow smoke, can be crying. At the end of the day, his championship, 10 years down the road, will still be 2. 15 years down the road, will still be 2. They will only have 2, one from St. Louis and one from this past season. That will be it. They will never become a dynasty for a very long time. So I know he hating on me. He don't like to hear the truth, and it hurts. But I'm gonna rub salt in the wound. Your team is like the Kansas City Chiefs, one and done. Congratulations.
Good job, Bill. You know, ready to go is a very confused individual. Every now and then needs to be bee-slapped. You did a great job.
Yeah, I have to. I'm not even worried about it. So because I'm talking smack about me, he's got to understand. I look at him as ready to blow smoke. Keep blowing smoke. Because you're on the Niners channel. Keep coming. I know we got 5. You got what?
Yeah.
We got 5. You got
He's got
1.
one in L.A., depending on where you're from.
Right.
You're either one in L.A. or St. Louis. And the greatest team on turf is still in St. Louis. It had nothing to do with L.A. We dropped an interception. That game was over. You guys got away. So, you know, but Bill, we got to go. Let me see you tomorrow.
Won't strike twice. Give me a Niner shout out, and I'll see you I'll give you a second. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, my guy.
Looking forward to it, Bill. Have a great night, fam. Are you ready? 3,
Niner shout out.
2, 1. Good night, Shania. I heard it coming in.
No. All right, later.
Later, Bill. And Tone, get in there.
Ronbo, I'm sorry, man. I was downstairs again, putting the wash, closing the dryer.
I love when you tell us what you were doing, and it involves domestics. I get caught up in that a lot, too.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Hey, Ronbo, the caller he was getting ready to go.
Yeah.
And Marketing Pro too much credit. They wasn't even in here tonight. I was mixed talking with Ellis in the chat. Doesn't it feel good to have an intelligent chat and we just talk football, even though we like mixing it up and talking trash? But Ellis said, "Yeah, I can get used to this."
You know, well, I think you guys might have burnt them up. They might be whooped. Oh, the thought of that is so intriguing. So I don't. Tony, this is the thing. When people come in here talking trash, they come in 1 or 2. What chance do they really believe they have?
Like Don Burr, I don't get it. And I pissed him off several times, Don Burr. He doesn't like me very much. And all because I stated facts, Ronbo. I did some digging. And, you know, the Detroit Lions history, 2 Hall of Famers that quit in the prime and on and on and on. He got mad because I brought that up.
You know, if you're going to root for that team, then accept the fact that you are connected to them in a way that makes you equally pathetic. So, so don't get mad when people would work on you. You ask for it. If you're a Lions fan, don't tell anybody.
I don't come in talking trash to your guys because, I wish our history was like y'all's history. Shoot, I just come in and try to get knowledge, and anything that I know, I spit it to you guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Falcons, they've never been as slouchy. You can't compare the Lions with any. Try to think of a team. Well, I mean, you know what? The Saints, once upon a time, were the Falcons. Who else?
Well, to me, the Aints were worse than
Tampa Bay, once upon a time, actually.
Because when Archie Manning was their quarterback, their fans came to the stadium with paper bags
on
over
the
there.
head. Hey, remember Tampa
Ain't
Bay?
the Lions.
Tampa Bay sucked. The expansion teams, they came in and they looked really bad for a long time.
Yeah.
Tennessee?
But within
Did Tennessee ever look
years,
bad? I guess.
Within 4 years, Tampa Bay got to the NFC Championship game. Within 4 years.
Yeah. But how about the Titans? The Titans ever go through? See, coming in as an expansion club is always, Tony, I'm wrong. Not Atlanta, but the Jets. All right, the Jets haven't done a damn thing since Joe Namath. We're talking,
nope.
I mean, decades.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, have they been to the playoffs?
But Ronbo, I got. Maybe I might have a solution to your problem. I think Alex Mack is going to retire, Ronbo, because he's never done this before. He's never done it in Cleveland, Atlanta with us. I think he's going to retire.
You serious?
That kid that y'all signed is an undrafted free agent from Arizona State, Donovan West.
Oh, Donovan West.
He plays guard and center, mostly center.
Actually, and Poe does
put him
too.
in there and play him.
Yeah.
Put him in there and play him. He's 6'4", 210. Put him in there and play him and play him and play him and get him ready for the season.
Otherwise, we got a guy named Brindle. Brindle's been with us for a couple of years. Shannon's going to go with a guy who knows his system the best and then try to bring those guys along, most likely, unless they can show that their maturity is high enough that they can go in there and be cerebral enough to read defenses see, this is the thing. This is why Alex Mack was so important for this year. I've got a kid back there running quarterback now that doesn't have the experience and knowledge that he's going to need. He's going to get it, but Alex could have steered him along. And he said, "Look, see the X, see the O, see this, see that. Here's what you can expect next. They're going to blitz, all right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean to my right. You get rid of that ball to the left. Now you've got somebody that's going to help you do, because that's what Matt Ryan even said it. The reason I had such a great year, I got Alex Mack. I didn't have to even do anything, So
Alex Mack knows how to make those protection calls, spot on the money. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he gets in. Because there's not been a lot of sinners anyway in the Hall of Fame. So Alex Mack is one of the best of all time and is always a winner. So, yeah.
Ronbo, I was reading about your tackle that you drafted to the kid out of Fordham. Ronbo, he's pretty good.
Is he?
He's got to do some work with his hands and pass protection.
Yeah, he's got some Richie Incognito in him. Nick, his last name starts with a Z. Yeah, the whistle's blowing. I understand they have to pull him off of people, I said,
he got that nasty dog in him.
Yeah, this is my kind of dude, Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir.
He's got some issues.
And your running back situation, I heard you talking about that.
Yeah.
Y'all, Ronbo, I was looking, when you and Ellis were talking, I had my book out, and I was looking, y'all could have had the running back we drafted in the 5th round. The kid from BYU that had 23 touchdowns.
What's his name?
We took him in the 5th round. Y'all could have had him.
Yeah,
y'all could have had that running back from Georgia. Y'all could have had that running back from Cincinnati, Floyd, but y'all chose this guy.
They'll never reveal what goes into the decision making. We got Trey Sermon last year. If anything, now it's a little difficult to trust their judgment on this. In the 3rd round, you picked up a running back. Running, as you know, in Kyle Shanahan's offensive system is extremely important. I understand he has great abilities to block, but I'm not sure why you need to pick him up in the 3rd round.
Yeah, because we picked up Algier in the 5th round. Our coaches got to work on him. I guess they said he fumbled because he carried the ball 276 times last year. Over
Jesus
1,500
Christ.
yards. Yeah, and he had
if he fumbled a couple of times, I can accept.
1,603 yards.
Yeah.
And he had 23 touchdowns. He led the nation in touchdowns with 23 rushing touchdowns. So we're really excited to have him. It's going to be running back by committee with us, as most teams doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, people are taking a page out of Kyle Shanahan's offensive playbook, there's how many workhorses are in the league now? People don't run that kind of concept.
Not many.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many workhorses. And I found out today that Ryan Tannehill, I guess he told somebody, it's not my job to bring Malik Willis along. I cracked up when I heard that. So he's scared about his job now. Malik Willis is not going to be a good quarterback. I don't think so.
You know,
and we signed Grady Jarrett today. We signed our all.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tackle. We extended him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy about that.
And you were worried about that earlier because I remember you mentioning him. So
yeah. But he's going to stay because Ronbo, we drafted 3 edge guys, a couple inside linebackers, the wide receiver. Your first pick and our first pick is the best. You took the best player on USC's defense, and we got the best player on USC's offense, the wide receiver.
Isn't that wild? What are the odds of that happening? I just hope that
it's going to be a beast in your rotation too.
I'm just concerned about them being in the Pac-12. I've become real bigoted when it becomes the Pac-12 football. He'll be tested. If he's a good football player, maybe it won't matter. He'll come in and do a good job.
He will because you got the coaches there, and then you got his teammates. You put that kid on the other side of Bosa.
Oh! I can't wait to see that in action. Tony, we're gonna go. Sir. I'm gonna be back tomorrow looking for you though, and you know this. Hopefully you'll be done with the chores around the house.
That Rams bacteria will not show up tomorrow either.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
2 days in a row.
About it too. It was a great night.
Yeah. 2 days in a row without those guys is gonna be interesting. We'll have to put on an APB on them. You know, we don't want the little fellas to get hurt. Well, yeah, we do. Hey, Tony!
Shout out to you. Shout out to production. You're the best in the business, as I always say. Folks, hit the like button. There's 169 people in the chat, and only 103 of us hit the like button.
Oh, God, come on, guys. A lot of those guys are haters. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you, fam. You know
Have
this.
a good night, sir.
You too.
Take care, sir.
Night. Hey, Steven. Steven, man, we're looking at the roster right now because, we're getting ready to go into the season. We got next week, pretty much the season's underway. Because the rookie camp starts out for 3 days. No telling what the media's going to go nuts, give us a bunch of tales. Hey, Grant, let me shout out to Grant. Grant, don't say anything bad about anybody yet. I don't want my feelings hurt early on,
You know who I'm kind of surprised they picked up, which I think was kind of like a pity grab? Purdy.
Steven, why did that bother you? They could use it for something else, right?
Because we have Trey Lance, who we gave up so much to get in the 3rd round, and then we have Jimmy, who I have no idea why we still continue to facilitate his contract, given how bad everything's going right now.
He probably has something on somebody.
Probably. He has to. I don't know. And then we have Sudfeld, who is the forgotten stepchild, and now we just added a 4th rookie quarterback that we drafted in the draft. And I'm like, of all things we could have added another QB, not another QB, offensive lineman, another running back, another corner, another defensive tackle.
Hey, Steven, remember, Trent Williams came in the 7th round.
True, yes. And I will say this, I don't hate the pick. I question it, but at the same time, am I happy that, the pick is there? Absolutely. Because look at his stats in college. 1,000+ yards. Like, these are something that I never thought I'd actually see. And I'm kind of debating on whether or not if it was actually a good idea. But I mean, really, it's kind of cool that I can actually, look at this draft and kind of think, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
No, and it usually ends up after a while we realize, because you can't tell for names and things out, but later on we find out that player is not bad. They say, "Oh, good pick." Yeah.
Yeah, who else? I'm kind of hopeful for Danny Gray, to be honest too. Like, he was questionable, but the more I look at him, I'm like, if he's as good, if someone in the 49ers front office saw something in him, other than all looking at it, and that's what it's led to be, is his speed, I'll be okay with it. Now, if he comes with a little bit of shiftiness, then great. Now, one of the callers prior to me said something kind of that caught my attention, which was the battle between Jermichael Hasty and Trey
Sermon.
Now, I can kind of see why there's a battle between the two, because Jermichael Hasty, as good as he is at finding the hole, when you smack the shit out of him, he seems to have a fumbling problem.
Mm-hmm.
The last times we saw Jermichael Hasty really do good, he fumbles right after a carry, and it's kind of
on
alarming
the 2 and 3 yard line. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, Trey Sermon, on the other hand, someone else kind of said it best, and I agree with him. At Ohio State, he had a large pocket to kind of, move around and get around, and yeah, and he doesn't have that with the Niners. This is grown man football. This is something that's not going to happen. You're not going to get that opportunity to have that open wide spot like he did in Ohio State. And he tried to run through some people and got lit up for it. Now, that's why I'm kind of happy we drafted Elijah Mitchell. He came from an unknown school. Obviously, his offensive line is not going to be that great. He's going to have to punch through. He's going to have to do a lot of work. And then,
hurry up.
If there was a running back I wish we picked up, I wish it was Dameon Pierce. Unfortunately, he went to the Texans, and now he's just gonna wreak havoc, Ronbo. This man, I'm telling you guys, Dameon Pierce of Florida State is a monster human being. This man is intense. Like, he's built like young Marshawn Lynch. He will run right through you, and it shows. Now, Drake Jackson, now that's a man. That is a bad dude. That is a bad dude. And which I'm kind of happy we, got Ufunga and Drake Jackson to play on the same team. Granted, probably not at the same time, but I mean, the chemistry is there. They communicate well.
I forgot they do know each other. They played together.
Yep.
I forgot about Hufanga being a USC person. Interesting.
And I'm telling you, I'm kind of looking forward to the season because there's a lot of different elements that we picked up, man. It's a lot of really cool things going on that the 49ers did in the NFL draft. Now, I did, however, I'm pretty sure we all agree, I did want Christian Watson. We all wanted Christian Watson. But I have a good feeling he's not going to do good in Green Bay. He might actually be a bust, Ronbo. He might actually be a bust.
Though, now that Devontae's not over there, Aaron might throw him the ball. And as like I said, because if I was Lazard and Valdez-Scantling said, as soon as I get an offer from anybody, I'm out of here, man. I got the ball 5 times this year. I mean, I'm standing there smoking a cigarette just to get attention, and he throws the ball to Devontae. I mean, Devontae's covered by 20 guys, So now, I think they may have to use more receivers because Aaron doesn't have a favorite yet.
Yeah. And another thing I want all the fans to kind of realize, and it's like I want everyone to kind of look at this, is no matter what we see in the media, it's always going to be smoke and mirrors, 110%. Look at what Arizona did with Hollywood Brown. You mean to tell me out of nowhere D-Hop gets drug tested and fails for PEDs, and you just so happen to trade like your entire fortune just to get Hollywood Brown? Like, no, it was very much premeditated. They knew what was going to happen. They knew he failed. So the thing going on with Debo, anything going on with Jimmy, we're never going to know until like 24 hours, if not 2 hours prior to news getting out.
Or a month after.
Yeah, a month after. These are things we all got to consider.
Yeah.
But overall,
Steve, we're going to run out of time.
But overall, I'm kind of happy with what we got. So.
Yeah, but it seems to work out with the 49ers. There's going to be 2 or 3 guys we're going to be shocked by, which is always exciting. But Stephen, always great to hear from you. Let's do it again tomorrow, and we'll be looking for you.
Absolutely, Ronbo. I'll be here tomorrow.
All right, Stephen. Looking forward. You too. Thanks, fam. And it's the big show. I color coordinated and organized my 2022 roster projection. Check your email, fam. I have 5 of 14 surprising UDFAs making this team. It's always exciting stuff. Show. I'll check that out. Get back to you. All right. And let's go to New York City. Area code is 646.
So, what happens when the Buffalo Bills meet the Niners? I mean, we don't play in the regular season, so we talking Super Bowl only?
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Right. And
yeah. What is your
how
name?
How does it happen, you know? Teddy.
Oh, I'm sorry, say it again? Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy.
Hey, Teddy. Teddy, first of all, the Buffalo Bills are going to have to go through pure hell in that AFC. All the premier quarterbacks and all the premier rosters are actually in abundance in the AFC. We got a few in the NFC, but the AFC is ridiculous. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. You go down to Cleveland last year, you got Kansas City, you got the Raiders added to the mix all of a sudden. God, I hated admitting that. And then you got Denver, you got the Chargers. Oh my God. Cleveland may even come. Oh, what am I saying? Cleveland may. Cleveland just picked up Deshaun Watson. Oh my God.
I know, man. I'm remiss.
It's crazy.
I would love to beat the 49ers in regular season. I would love to come out there and just take a trip to San Francisco. But
Buffalo's got a good team. No doubt about it. You're in the mix. But, boy, that's going to be – it's like Tom Brady. Oh, what did Brady say? Somebody said Brady loves being in Tampa Bay. Now that's the deal because being in New England right now is not where you want to be. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, nowhere in the AFC are you going to be able to beat Josh Allen. That's the problem. So if you guys do make it to the Super Bowl, which is where we'd meet, right?
Yeah.
So, how are you going to beat Josh Allen?
Well, I suspect if we get to the Super Bowl, that means everything's right. As far as, because my only concern is my quarterback ready for that level of competition? And because everybody else on the team pretty much battle-tested and hardened. So he's going to come in with a very strong supporting cast. Granted, Josh Allen is a bad dude. He has developed, and he's got Stephon Diggs. Did you guys? Who's your running back?
I mean, we got Devin Singletary. I mean, he's all we really need. And then we picked up, who was that guy?
Teddy, I got to tell you though,
from the Browns, Duke Johnson. Yeah.
You know what though, Buffalo. You guys should. The best running back, one of the best running backs of all time, played in Buffalo until he had to go. You give Josh Allen a little better running game. What was his name?
Thurman Thomas.
No, that's going back too far. I don't know, but just recently, the herky-jerky, going downfield, making everybody miss guy. Anyway, you give Josh a solid run game, it'd be better. Because
I mean, I don't know how you can get much better than Josh's arm, though. That's the thing. Like, do we really need a run game when he's got that arm like that?
Anytime you have a more balanced offense, and especially if your quarterback's that hot, you still go maybe the biggest percentage of the time you go ahead and put the ball in his hands. But when it comes to the big games, when defenses like Belichick, and all you got to do now is work on your passing game. It puts you at a disadvantage because there's no balance in your offense, and that's what's going to. Although the Kansas City game was interesting, but the Chiefs' off defense is questionable too. So I thought your defense, though, I could not imagine you letting the Chiefs do that. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, it was. I mean, especially with Poyer right now looking for a bigger contract too, it makes you question what's going on our defense. Like we gave up, 13 seconds, a massive touchdown, and then our star safety's asking for a huge contract now. All of a sudden, because other people are getting them, right? And I understand that, right? Everyone wants to get theirs. So, but you look at that and you roll back the tape and say, what was going on there? We lost our chance at a title because of what happened there. Is that not on you?
No, he just wants to get paid. He'll tell you about all the other plays he made, and that was just one of those things. But it was look when you did it. We had a similar situation happen to us in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. We were up 10 points with just a few minutes to go. You see a little thing on the corner of the screen where they said 49ers chances of winning? It had it up to 100%. And then suddenly, Richard Sherman, Mr. Perennial, Mr. Hall of Fame first ballot.
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden, Sammy Watkins is taking him apart. I said, we got Sherman for that purpose. And no, he can't stop Watkins. So guys who ask for money after being the reason why the team came back, that's bold. That is bold. So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him go.
Hey, man, I appreciate the talk. Hope you have a good night. Definitely keep tuning in.
All right, Diddy. Thanks. Call back anytime. Anybody that's from the other side of town or the other team and friendly, they can come on my program anytime they like. All right?
Hey, you're live at 2 a.m., man. I'm up, and I'm trying to talk some football. So
there you go.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Diddy.
All right. Peace out, man.
Peace out. And that's it. Are we done? Okay. Yeah. See, Don Bird, these are what you call decent, upstanding people. See, Don, you came in production, you made production mad. And I kind of miss you, actually. Those phone calls are amusing, but the production was not amused, and we never get to hear from you. Don, good luck, though. Anytime a man picks the Detroit Lions to be his team, to me that spells character. It takes a lot of gall to root for a team like the Detroit Lions. I'm not going to get my hat off to you. Well, I say this. You got a lot of nerve. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, are we? Okay. Anyway, fam, please subscribe. Especially you people that come in and don't hit like and give my people a hard time. We're providing a service for you. You have a place you can go to be annoying. This is what your character is, and this is what you need, apparently, to make you feel better. I don't appreciate it, but if you're going to be in here, you better subscribe. Fam, hit the like, please. You know how much I love those likes. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow since we missed yesterday, and we'll talk some more 49er football. Later!